Class 8A matchup as the 5th-seeded Royals of Larkin out of the Upstate 8 Conference will take on the 4th-seeded Dukes of York representing the West Suburban Silver Conference, a rematch of a first-round playoff game in 1995 when York beat Larkin 28-7. And a very pleasant good evening, everyone, and welcome to our AT&T Broadband Daily Herald playoff game of the week. Alongside my partner, Stephen J. Moga, Mark Kruger, we're glad you're with us here tonight. Both teams with identical regular season marks of 6-3. This is the first time that either team has made postseason since 1999. The Royals of Larkin come into this one with a 3-game winning streak. The Dukes a 2-game losing streak. And Steve, a concern for this York defense is the passing ability of these Larkin Royals. And of course, that all starts with the quarterback, Eric Schultz.
Well, Eric Schultz over 1,300 yards passing on the season, Mark. 12 touchdowns. He's got 5 different receivers over 160 yards. He's got a lot of different targets he goes to. And he's going to have a good game tonight. The Duke defense has picked off 13 passes on the year. If Eric Schultz does not have a good game, it's not going to be a very good game for the Royals here tonight.
Another Eric on the defensive side of the ball for the Royals. Eric Stevens came up big, the big defensive end, with 4 sacks a week ago.
Yeah, 6'2", 180-pound senior. He's pretty quick, and we're also going to see him on the offensive side of the football. He's one of those guys who's caught those passes. 14 catches on the year as well. With the 4 sacks last week, he's gonna try and get in that backfield as much as he can tonight.
As for the Dukes of York, well, offensively averaging over 26 points per game. They've got a tremendous offensive attack. They can do it on the ground, they can do it in the air, but when they do it on the ground, Nate Wallach has had a tremendous season this year.
Yeah, he broke his own record, own school record, and he's got over 1,200 yards rushing, 18 touchdowns. He finds a way to get in the end zone. But one thing here about this game tonight, Mark, a little secret, he's a little banged up the knee a little bit last week. He was questionable for this game, but he's going to try it out, and we'll see this cold weather if that affects that knee as well. But obviously a key for them to run the football.
And then, of course, on the defensive side of the ball for the Dukes, Harry Knopfs comes back at that defensive end position, an all-conference performer a year ago.
Yeah, the big guy, 6'3", 240 pounds. And, you know, Mark, like you said, all-conference, also an all-camp player. University of Missouri camp, he was one of the best guys there as far as defensive lineman. He was chosen there, and he obviously is going to have to get in there and disrupt some things for this defense to be successful tonight. Force him to throw the ball a little quicker than he wants to so they can pick off some passes here tonight.
Frigid temperatures here in Elmhurst. Should be a good one. The Dukes of York, the Royals of Larkin will have the opening kickoff. And tonight's starting lineups coming up right after this. Back to Elmhurst, Mark Kruger, Steve Moga. The Larkin Royals have won the toss, and they are back. Look for Jawan Davis, number 5. He had a kickoff return earlier in the season, Steve, I believe 87 yards.
Actually, Mark, I'm told that the Royals won the toss, deferred, and York decided to kick off. There you go. Just crossing you up right from the beginning.
You like to do that every once in a while.
Oh, yeah.
Kicking it off, Josh Patterson for the Dukes, opening round, Class 8A. Glad to have you with us. And this is Jawan Davis, and it will go into the end zone. It will be a touchback. It'll be 1st and 20 for the Royals from their own 20-yard line.
Well, that ball carried a little bit on Jawan. The wind in his face just a little bit, not a stiff breeze, but just enough to make that ball carry.
So at the offensive unit, there you see Eric Schultz, the quarterback. The backfield, Dave Wilharm, Brad Lee. Brad Jones is the tight end. Tom Kelly and Jawan Davis, the wideouts up front. Mike Lindsay, Kevin Kazarek, Jason Wolf, Brian Clark, and Luke Engen. 1st and 10 for the Larkin Royals here. First play of the game.
Counter trade.
And the give is to Brad Lee. And Lee, maybe a yard to the right side, will set this Duke defense up for you. Up front, Juan Ochoa, Danny Larson, Jason Anderson, Tyler Bruzowitz, the linebacker, along with Nathan Clancy, John Ostin, Harry Knopfs, Josh Patterson, Rick Tarsitano, Ryan Scott, and Brian Belleville, the safety. Clarence D. Eastfield here on the campus of York High School. Opening round between the Dukes and the Royals. Second down now for Eric Schultz and the Royals out of the shotgun. Schultz with plenty of time as he'll go to the right side. The pass is complete to number 88, Eric Stevens.
A football popped free at the end of that. Fortunately for the Royals, they were able to recover right in front of their bench.
Just shy of the 30-yard line, so it'll bring up a third down and about 4 yards to go here. Opening moments. Eric Stevens came into this game, 14 catches, 208 yards, and a couple of touchdowns. There's a look, a lot of time there, Steve.
Even without the slow-mo, he had plenty of time. It's a little down and out pattern. Come back to the football. There you see it right at the end.
Actually I'm sorry, Steve, they actually call it third down and 3 now, and the pitch is to Brad Lee. And Brad Lee will have a first down as he gets close to the 34-yard line. Brad Lee, a transfer from Proviso West, over 600 yards rushing the ball this season, Steve. 6 touchdowns.
Well, Mark, we mentioned at our outset how important Eric Schultz is to this offense tonight and to have a good game for them to be successful, but it has been the running game here late in the year. Brad Lee and Dale Wilhelm, who have really led this offense and really gotten them going, continued the role they've been on, as you mentioned, a 3-game winning streak coming into tonight.
Spotted at their own 33 here, so 1st and 10. Royals from their own 33 as they keep it on the ground. This is Dave Wilhelm, and Wilhelm across the 35 to the 36-yard line. A pickup of about 3 yards to go. Josh Patterson, the corner, was there on the stop for the Dukes.
Patterson leading this defense with 4 interceptions on the season. Mentioned at the outset 13 on the year that they've picked off.
There's Terry Grider there, the first time that his ball club as a head coach making it to postseason here for York.
Last time the Dukes were in the playoffs, Mark, 99, and they got all the way to the quarterfinals before losing to Schaumburg 32-13 that year.
After the 3-yard pickup by Wilhelm, 2nd down and 7. They reverse it, pitching it back to Schultz. Schultz here to the near side, Brad Lee, and it goes through his hands, incomplete. Josh Patterson was there on the coverage. Little razzle-dazzle here by the Royals.
Tell you what, that took a little too long to develop, so to speak. One more there, and it took a moment for him to set his feet to throw the football and allowed Patterson to get over there and just disrupt things a little bit. Here you see it, the double, triple flip, and here, here's it out. Patterson there able to just make Lee just take his eye off the football a little bit.
So 3rd down and 7 now out of the shotgun. 5 wideouts here for the Royals. Schultz steps up, looking across the middle, and the pass is incomplete. That ball was nearly picked off by Brian Belleville. Belleville already with 3 picks during the regular season, almost had his 4th one there.
Well, Belleville's caught the ball an awful lot on the offensive side of things as well. We'll get to that once they get on offense, but yeah, he was there for the diving attempt. And I tell you what, a lot of time that time for the quarterback, Schultz, to throw the ball from the shotgun, and then he dropped back 3 or 4 more steps, and just a little bit too much time, I think, Mark, to get rid of that football. He had his receiver open, and then by the time he threw it, he overthrew him.
So Eric Schultz back to punt here for the Royals, back for the Dukes. Josh Patterson at number 4.
Set to punt, number 12, Eric Schultz.
Ball. False start. Gets to White. Repeat. 4th down.
Procedure call against the Royals there. Referee Mike Ryer. Umpire for tonight's game, Mark Cheserick. Line judge John Kiefer. Back judge Ed Ryer. And the linesman Jerome Watkins. Your officiating crew for tonight's game. Schultz's punt, low line drive. Patterson from his own 39, and Patterson will bring it back to about the 44-yard line. So a 5-yard return for Patterson, and that's where the Dukes offense will take over, led by 3-year starter Andy Shields. There you see it, Nate Wallach in the backfield along with Tom McHugh. Gary Madro, the tight end, Brad Hines and Brian Belleville, the 2 wideouts. Up front, Sean Kasak, John Bosenberg, Phil Finke, Brian Guyman, and Steve Wigfall, the starting lineup for the Dukes. 1st and 10, and a fumble, and it looked like Shields covered up on it. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 as we'll set the Royals defense for you here. Up front, defensive line. Kyle Scott, the nose guard, only a sophomore. Brandon Ryan, a sophomore as well. Nick Lopez, Eric Reebok, Eric Stevens. Linebackers Paul Ryan, Stefan Zoki, Brad Lee, Shane Kyles, and the safeties Tom Kelly and Steve Rux.
Well, if it gets any colder out there, Mark, those are going to freeze. We're going to have some icicles on those babies. Hard to get a drink here. It's a pretty chilly night tonight. Small crowd so far.
2nd and 10, and the pass is complete to Brian Belleville, and Belleville will have a first down at the 45 of the Royals. Belleville coming into this game, 52 catches. That is Shields' main target. Here's another look.
You see Shields doesn't waste any time at all. Gets the ball out there to him, and he eludes one tackler, gets first down yardage.
10-yard pickup, so 1st and 10 for the Dukes. With just over 8 minutes to go here in this opening quarter, no score, and looked like there was movement on the right side of that offensive line. Bill Finke, the senior offensive right guard, may have moved.
Dead ball. I got it. False start. Gets the green. Repeat down.
Push the ball back 5 yards. Still first down.
Indeed, to push things back. And see that last play, the Royals coming with some pressure. It was one thing that Hinsdale Central did with success earlier in the year when we had York against the Red Devils in Hinsdale, our game of the week, and they were able to get the quarterback a few times, really disrupt this York offense.
Fumble once again, so for the second time tonight, a little miscommunication there between Sean Kasak and Andy Shields, and both times Shields covers up, so it'll be 2nd down and, well, loss of a yard, so 2nd and 16 now for the Dukes.
Well, that's one way to disrupt the offense. He's pulled away just before he had the football. You could see it there. He'd already turned his head. Just didn't get the handle on it. Well, again, with a cold night like this as well, early on, you've got the jitters for the playoffs, but obviously the cold weather can affect some players out there, and you're seeing trying to flex that hand a little bit. It could be a little cold yet, the first series.
2nd and 16, York from their own 48, and the give is to Tom McHugh, the fullback, and McHugh maybe to midfield, a yard or two, but that's about it. It'll be 3rd down and long here for York.
Boy, the Royals just bunched that up. They sniffed that play out right from the get-go. Linebackers sealed the hole. There's too many bodies right there in a short space.
Brandon Ryan was there, among others, the sophomore defensive tackle, 6 foot, 220 pounder.
Yeah, the sophomore has really come along, stepped his game up here and on the varsity level.
3rd down and 15 for Andy Shields and the Dukes. Shields with the pump fake. Now he'll throw it to the far side. Coming back on the ball is Brian Belleville, and he'll come down with the reception at the 15-yard line. Nice adjustment by Belleville.
Well, not only a nice adjustment, nice throw by Andy Shields on the run. We'll take another look at it. A little play action, rolling to his left, throwing, pump fakes there, and then throws on the run. Gets something on it, a little underthrown, but Belleville reacting to the football. That's why he came into this game. 52 catches, 741 yards receiving on the year, 8 touchdowns. Like I said, he's got a nose for the football, on whether he's on offense or defense.
Bradley was on the coverage there, 27-yard reception for Belleville. And now the Dukes will go to the ground here on 1st and 10.
With the carries,
That'll be Anderson. May have lost a yard.
Yeah, Paul Ryan shot the gap right there from his linebacker position and just upended him almost immediately after he got the football.
Oh, you mentioned Nate Wallach with the possibility of an injury. We see Anderson running the ball here, so here's another look at it. Anderson, I don't know if Mr. Wallach is not in the starting lineup here for the Dukes.
As we mentioned, pre-game, he was questionable.
2nd down and 11 out of the I formation. It's Shields going to the air, and the pass is picked off. Running here to the near side is Tom Kelly.
Madro picked off by the Royals. Pick off made by number 2, Tom Kelly.
Tom Kelly with the pick, the 7th interception on the year for the Royals. It came in with only 6. Not even half as many as the Dukes had picked off. Take another look at it here, Mark. Again, you got the left-hander rolling to his right, throwing across his body. A little pressure right there had made him stop, and he didn't get quite as much on it as he probably would have liked to. And Kelly was able to step in front.
So 1st and 10 now for the Royals from their own 29-yard line. Trying to take advantage of the York turnover. Schultz to the far side, and a pass is incomplete. Looked like that was Joan Davis there on the far side. Rick Tarsitano was there on the coverage.
Joan Davis, his main target this season, 25 catches, 505 yards, 6 touchdowns, his longest a 65-yarder, so he was looking to set a new season high with that reception. On the fly pattern, one-on-one coverage out there, and just overthrew him a little bit.
Both of these two teams, Steve, have a couple of very talented wide receivers. 2nd and 10 now. Royals from their own 29. Split backfield. Eric Schultz back to work here for the Royals. And the give is to Brad Lee. And Lee will get it to about the 32-yard line. 3-yard pickup. It'll be 3rd down and 7 now for Larkin.
Not a whole lot there off tackle that time.
Larkin, of course, out of the Upstate 8 Conference.
Tackles made by Jason Anderson.
Somewhat of a surprise, my friend. 2-7 last season. Predicted to be as low as 8th in the preseason prediction this year for the Upstate 8 Conference. And what do you know? 3 wins in a row, 6-3 record, and they're here.
One of 6 teams in that conference in postseason. Lake Park, Bartlett, Neco Valley, St. Charles North, and Streamwood got the at-large bid at 5-4. 3rd down. Schultz to the far side. Pass is complete. Like that was Brad Lee, and Lee will have a 1st down close to the 45-yard line.
Now running back coming out of the backfield all the way across. Nice little play here. We'll take another look at it. We'll play action. Eluding the pressure coming from the left side, and there he is, hits number 13.
Now Lee's had 14 catches, Steve, coming out of that backfield for 160 yards coming into tonight's playoff game. 1st and 10, Royals from their own 46-yard line. Schultz, the give to Brad Lee as he's on the ground this time, and forward progress. They'll spot this at around the 48-yard line. 40 was brought back by a host of Duke defenders.
Well, Brad Lee has certainly become, like I mentioned, a more integral part of this offense as the season has progressed. And when we saw them early on in the year when they played versus Elgin, there you see some young ladies enjoying the football game. May not really even be watching the football game. They're enjoying the hot chocolate over there. I tell you what, to get our guy Nick Pino maybe to grab a couple of those for us, Mark.
Sounds good to me. 2nd down and 8 here. Steve out of the gun. Eric Schultz steps up, and now he'll decide to run the ball as he gets across midfield and brought down at the 46-yard line of the Dukes.
I started to mention, Mark, though, we saw the Royals against the Maroons of Elgin earlier in the year, and Brad Lee was not as big a part of this offense at that point. The transfer in from Proviso West, still learning the system at that point.
Yeah, that game, Eric Schultz, he tied a school record with 5 touchdown passes, 3 of those to Tom Kelly, as the Royals defeated Elgin 41-7 back in week 3, our game of the week. 3rd down and 2 after that 6-yard pickup by Eric Schultz from the 46-yard line of York. And the give is to Brad Lee, and Brad Lee will get buried back at the 49-yard line by Jason Anderson, the senior linebacker.
That time the linebackers got aggressive there. You see some of the Duke faithful. There he just shoots right through, and we've got the York coaches right next to us up here in the press box, and they certainly guessed right defensively that time.
So Eric Schultz will punt it away here for the 2nd time tonight. Josh Patterson is back.
Oh my, that's the last thing the Dukes wanted right there, my friend. 4th and 5 situation. That's going to be interesting whether or not it's going to, I think it is going to be the 1st down, because they only really need 4 yards.
Flag comes down. I'm told that Nate Wallet will not play in tonight's game.
We mentioned that he was banged up. It's kind of a secret coming into this game. Banged the knee up, and getting this cold weather is not conducive to those things as well.
I got dead ball. I got encroachment against the green. It'll be an automatic first down.
Wow, so the 5-yard penalty against the Dukes gives the Royals a first down at the 44-yard line.
There you see some of the frozen faithful of the Larkin Royals on that far side, getting hit by the wind a little bit more. Well, that is a key, though, for the Dukes tonight with Nathan Wallach.
Certainly is. Over, what, 1,200 yards rushing the ball. Schultz, back to pass, straight drop. Now will get flushed out and sacked by Harry Knopfs. We touched on him at the outset. The all-conference performer of a year ago comes up with a sack here.
Take one more look at it. Knopfs from the defensive end position. He swings into the inside and just runs past it. Just can't pick everybody up. He blitz to the outside, changing the rush that time, and the big guy shot through there and make the tackle.
8-yard loss in the play, Steve, so it'll be second down and 18 with just over a minute to go here in this opening quarter. The York Dukes, the Larkin Royals, opening round Class 8A playoff action. No score here from Clarence D. East Field in Elmhurst. Second and 18. Schultz rolling here to the near side. Now will throw it. Davis, the intended receiver, and it is overthrown, incomplete. It'll bring up third down and 18 situation here for the Royals.
Oh, he really aired that out about 45 yards into the slight wind that we have here, Mark. Had Davis out there, but that ball just took off a little bit, and Davis kind of banging with the cornerback over there, wasn't able to get to it.
Football fans, the AT&T Broadband Network will take you through the semifinal round with our Game of the Week playoff coverage. Then on Thanksgiving weekend, you can watch the IHSA State Finals, classes 1A through 8A live on WYCC TV 20 Chicago. That's Friday, November 29th and Saturday, November 30th. 12 hours of continuous championship action beginning at 10 o'clock each morning. Check your local listings to find the WYCC channel location on your AT&T Broadband channel lineup. Games are not available in some areas. Third down and long. Schultz again deep across the middle, and he's got his man. First down at the 32-yard line for the Royals. That was Tom Kelly, another fine wide out.
Tom Kelly, a crossing pattern here, and just beyond the linebacker, and got away from Jason Anderson. Can't really see it from here. He steps back up in the pocket, looking to the left, and then throws back to the middle of the field. There you see 20 at the tail end. A few steps behind that play.
24-yard pass reception from Schultz to Kelly, giving the Royals a first down. And now they'll keep it on the ground. This is Brad Lee, the ball carrier, for a minimal gain. Danny Larson, the nose guard, was there to make the tackle, and that will probably be the last play here of this first quarter.
Yeah, that was actually Wilharm on that carry, my friend, but that will indeed end the first quarter in a defensive struggle somewhat. Anytime the Royals have moved the football, the Dukes have made the adjustment.
No score here in Elmhurst. Larkin and York. Nothing. Back with the second quarter right after this. Welcome back here to Elmhurst. Schultz went for it all to Tom Kelly in the end zone. You saw the brilliant effort there by Kelly in and out of his hands in the end zone. So it'll bring up third down and 8 now for the Royals.
Third down.
That last play to end that first quarter, you mentioned Steve, Dave Wilharm. He's come in about 3 weeks ago. He came in, and I tell you what, he had a nice game against Lake Park. Royals lost 28-0, but he had 21 carries, 129 yards versus Lake Park in week 6.
Well, that was a game that Eric Schultz did not play in, though, Mark. He had a rib injury, and the Lancers, we know, a pretty solid team, 8-1 on the year, as it turned out. And they really kept the Royals in check that night with a shutout.
Steve Rux was the backup quarterback. Here's Wilharm once again as Dave breaks it close to the 15-yard line, 14-yard pickup, so it'll be first down and 10 here for the Royals.
Wilharm comes up big there. We'll take another look at it from this angle. Wilharm just picking his way, cuts to the outside, shows some good speed, and protecting the football is the key right there, Mark. Had the field spread out a little bit, had the defense spread out a little bit in a 3rd and 8 situation looking for the pass.
So it'll be 1st and 10 here for the Royals from the 16-yard line of York. Threatening here in the early moments of this second quarter. The give is to Bradley, and Brad to about the 14-yard line. Tyler Bruzewitz, among others, the middle linebacker, was there. 5'11", 212-pound senior. Nice last name for a linebacker, Steve. Bruzewitz.
It's kind of like Urlacher rhyming with linebacker, that kind of thing. Bruzewitz, he certainly got a hit there. He may have bruised the Royals running back on that play, but wrapped him up immediately. Shot through and hit him high and didn't let go.
2-yard pickup here, Steve. So the Royals, 2nd and 8 from the 14-yard line of the Dukes. Schultz under some pressure will go to the end zone, and Davis, the intended receiver, but there's flags thrown all over. One in the end zone and one at the 7. There may be some interference here.
Yeah, Juwan Davis says, hey, you can't be making contact with me down here. He had his defender possibly beat, and it looked like he grabbed at him to hold on to him. Probably a pretty tight grab, kind of like you and a hamburger, my friend.
Defense.
White against the Dukes.
Bratwurst, hamburger.
I don't let those
barbecue
go.
Chicken.
Oh, yes.
As long as it's a free meal, you're there.
Hey, come on. Heard the call there from referee Mike Ryer. Holding against the Dukes.
Of course, I'm going to be quiet because I drove tonight. You rode with me here to the game.
Well, there was also, Steve, pass interference against the Dukes.
Well, some situations, hey, if you're beaten on the play, grab a hold of somebody, take the penalty flag instead of take the automatic touchdown. But yeah, I gave you the scenic route on the way here to York High School.
Yeah, I was wondering if we were going to make it tonight.
We're going to take the pass interference against the defense. It'll be an automatic 1st down.
All right, so yeah, they'll take the pass interference, get that 1st down, and
The
1st and goal here for the Royals from the 7-yard line, half the distance to the goal line. So the Royals with a tremendous opportunity to get on the board first. Tell you, we're seeing the speed of Juwan Davis and Tom Kelly already making the fine catches here in that first quarter. Eric Stevens as well, a talented wide receiver here for Coach Schabert's Royals. 1st and goal for the Royals. Split backfield from the 7-yard line, and the give. This is Wilharm. Dave inside the 5 to the 4-yard line, where he is brought down by Harry Knopf. Let's go down to the 3rd member of our broadcasting crew. Jeff Myers is standing by with more. Jeff.
Hey guys, I got the microphone working. It's cold down here. You're looking at Dale Shabert, the 9th-year coach of the Larkin Royals. He's on a winning streak of 3. He's coaching from the press box high atop there with his nice Royal cap. So he's calling things nicely, way far away from the action. That's where the Coach Shabert is for Larkin. Back to you guys.
All right, Jeff, thank you very much. 3 backs now for the Royals, and
He's in.
spinning in. Touchdown. Bradley.
Bradley, a nice move to cut back, and the spinning move, the second effort gets him into the end zone. Well, for the tail end of that shot, you can see where our vantage point is completely directly under the coach. There you see the tail end of that touchdown, a little celebration action there. I didn't see Bradley pull out a Sharpie marker there, though, did you, Mark?
No.
Sign anything?
Yeah.
I tell you what,
Steve.
that tops them all. Just when you think you've seen it all.
Steve Rucks coming in for the extra point. Eric Stevens to hold it here for the Royals.
Another reason why I like high school football.
Oh, they fake it. Stevens to the left
He's
corner
there
for the 2-point conversion, and it is incomplete. Knocked away there by Ryan Scott was there defensively for York. Tom Kelly was there in the left corner for the Royals. So the 2-point conversion, no good. Score remains 6-0 in favor of Larkin. 10-13 to go here in this first half.
Great job by Ryan Scott to react to that situation and see that Kelly was peeling off the line and heading toward the corner, a little fade pattern.
Well, this quadrant, Wheaton North, the #1 seed in the quadrant, as we take another look at the touchdown run there. Nice job. Wheaton North, of course, the #1 seed in this particular quadrant, at home tonight against Streamwood, the #8 seed. Also in this quadrant, Lake Park, the number 2 seed at home tonight against West Chicago. Congratulations to Coach Bob Stone, the first time the Wildcats are in postseason since 1978. And then Bartlett, the Hawks, at home tonight against Willowbrook.
Well, the Wildcats with a huge victory last week against Naperville Central denied Coach Joe Bunge's squad of a 5-4 record as well in the postseason. And yeah, like you say, congratulations. For many years, West Chicago was at the bottom of that very difficult, very tough DuPage Valley Conference, and the Wildcats finally getting in there. What a great achievement for them.
Steve Rux to kick off. Brian Belleville is back deep here for the Dukes. Instead, this will be number 11, Ryan Scott, at about his own 13-yard line. Cuts across the 20 to the 25 and spins, and will get brought down at the 26-yard line, and that's where the Dukes will take over here. 10:05 to go in this first half. Take a look at the final Upstate 8 conference standings. There you see Bartlett and Lake Park both at 6-1. Bartlett will get the conference nod as they defeated Lake Park in week 8. You see St. Charles North, Neuqua Valley both in at 5-1 in conference play. St. Charles East at 4-2, not making postseason. You see the 4-5 overall mark. And then, of course, the Larkin Royals. You see Streamwood with a 5-4 at-large bid, and the rest of the Upstate 8 conference. The Dukes will keep it on the ground. This is number 20, Jason Anderson, the ball carrier.
Well, Mark, the top of that conference list looked like a repeat from last year with Lake Park and Bartlett 6-1. The only difference was it was St. Charles East, not St. Charles North, as the third place team with a 5-1 record, playing one game less in conference play. There you see a little play action. Not
Actually,
much there for Tom McHugh.
The fullback, yeah, I mentioned Anderson is actually the fullback. Tom McHugh, the ball carrier. No gains, 2nd and 10. Dukes from their own 26. Shields.
Oh, pressure from the outside.
Yeah, gets buried back at the 25-yard line. May have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. Let's go down to Jeff Myers. Jeff.
Don't want to take away from the game, guys, but the big running back, Nathan Wallach. Nathan, tell me about your injury.
I just, fourth quarter against LT, took a bad shot in the knee, and it's just a bad sprain. I'm hoping I can get back. And the team's out there trying to win this game for me, and hopefully if we can win this one and the next one, or maybe even next week, and come back and play in the playoffs. It's just hard watching the team right now and just not having the game in my hands.
I know you're disappointed. Did you practice all week?
No, I just been icing and trying to get it back as fast as I can.
Okay, thanks, Nathan. Thanks for talking. Back to you guys.
All right, Jeff, thank you very much. 3rd down and 15. Shields to Brian Belleville, and Belleville back to the line of scrimmage, and that will do it. 4th and long.
A little screen action there. You don't want to have the screen open on a chilly night like tonight, Mark. Not much there, not much protection. Belleville coming across the middle. It's a very short gain. And yeah, very tough situation for the Dukes with Wallach. And Mark, that's one of those things that just needs time. It needs time to heal and get strength back, and just like any other sprain, like an ankle or anything else.
Josh Patterson to kick it away here for the Dukes. Steve Rux back for the Royals, and it will bounce at the 49-yard line. Or actually, this is Lee from his own 38-yard line. They'll bring it back to the 47-yard line. That's where the Royals will take over here.
The last drive, Mark, by the way, for these Royals, that scoring drive, 15 plays, 71 yards it covered, 7:34, over 7.5 minutes they took off the clock through that first quarter and beginning of this second quarter for that touchdown.
We mentioned Wheaton North, the number 1 seed in this particular quadrant, the York-Larkin quadrant. Hinsdale Central, the number 1 seed in the other quadrant. Chicago's Lane High School, the other number 1 seed, and then Downers Grove South, the 4th number 1 seed in the 4 quadrants here in Class 8A. Pitch and nowhere to go. Up the middle was plugged up as Brad Lee got the pitch from Eric Schultz.
That sounds familiar to some folks out there. The 1999, the last time these Royals were in the playoffs, their first round opponent was Chicago Lane. They went in to play Lane and downed them 34-7 in the first round. Of course, in week 2 of that year, Mark, the Royals put 48 points up against Jacobs, a 48-21 victory. That was the game Stan Yarborough set a Class 6A record with 229 yards receiving for playoff games.
Second down and 9. Play action. Good fake by Schultz. He'll go deep to the far side. Davis, the intended receiver, incomplete. Ryan Scott was there right with him.
The intended receiver.
Got an update to the Wheaton North all over Streamwood in the first half, 21-0. So the winner of tonight's game will take on the winner of that Wheaton North Streamwood game. Is another look.
Play action again. Boy, he just aired that out. He threw that as far as he could.
Well, not necessarily a bad play by Schultz because he knows what kind of talent he's got at the other end. And Jawan Davis, tremendous athlete, along with Tom Kelly, we mentioned, and Eric Stevens.
You know, that aforementioned record for the Royals, Stan Yarborough. Royals also still hold the 6A, Class A, 6A record. They tied it anyway with 5 touchdown passes in that game against Jacobs back in '99.
Third down and 9. Stevens went in motion, and then a bunch of flags came out onto the field. Micah
I
Ryer
got
will
dead
tell
ball.
us.
I got false start against the offense. Going to repeat. Third down.
So it'll be 3rd and 14 now for the Royals.
A little more history for you, my friend. Of course, the following week then, the Royals hosted Naperville Central, and the Red Hawks took it to them 42-6 en route to the following week, winning the title over Schaumburg 56-31. That was the Ryan Clifford-led Naperville Central Red Hawks. Understand he just sustained another ACL injury down at the University of Illinois.
Yeah,
He'll be out now.
Yep, I was reading about that as well. 3rd down and 14. Schultz out in the flat to the far side. Brad Lee with the reception, gets close to midfield, dives over midfield, and they're going to spot it back at their own 49, however, short of the first down.
You know, we alluded to Nathan Wallen coming in this game with 18 touchdowns. Of course, Ryan Clifford holds the state record for touchdown rushing TDs in a season. It was almost comical. He would get 4 or 5 touchdowns every game that year for the Red Hawks. A great second effort there, putting the hand down and keeping balance, lunging forward, getting close, at least to midfield.
Coach Terry Grider, his 3rd season, head coach at York. Eric Schultz to punt it away. Instead, they will fake it.
He's got
and
room.
He will keep it himself, and he will dive to the 47-yard line. And he's not going to make the ball over to the Dukes.
Well, he had room there for a moment. I tell you what, kind of a risky call by the coach. Not that this is great field position, but it's certainly not bad field position. Just across midfield, make it a little bit shorter field when they really could have pinned the Dukes back a little bit.
6:46 to go here in this first half. So Andy Shields and the Dukes here trailing 6-0 here in the second quarter.
No, Mark, it's only 6-0. I mean, like, as you mentioned there, it's not like it's a big lead. You're going to make this a short field for the Dukes. They'll take it.
The fullback, Tom McHugh, as he drags a bunch of Royal defenders down to the 44-yard line. 7-yard pickup, so it'll be 2nd down and 3 now for York.
You mentioned Terry Grider. He took over in 2000, my friend. He went the Dukes went 2-7 his first year, 4-5 in his second year. And this year, the breakthrough season for them under Coach Grider. 2nd
down and 3 now for the Dukes. And again, it's the fullback, Tom McHugh. And McHugh to about the 44-yard line. About a yard shy of the first down marker.
By the way, Mark, his predecessor, Gary Growinkle, from 82 to 99 was the head coach. They won 60% of their games here at York under his leadership. 10 times they went to the playoffs. They were 10-3 in 95, 8-2 in 96, and 9-2 in 97, a 3-year stretch of 27-7. Coach Growinkle has a third of the school's all-time football victories since 1920.
3rd down and 2 here for the Dukes. Shields, the left-hander here to the near side. Pass is complete. Should be enough for a first down. Belleville with the reception at the 39-yard line. Brad Lee, the corner, was there to make a tackle. It'll be 1st and 10 for York.
What a great matchup between those two. Belleville and Lee, two of the best athletes on the field. There, the left-hander there. You see it coming right in your living room. And just a quick down and out. Got there just before Lee was able to adjust.
See Andy Shields, the quarterback, as you take a look at Belleville splitting out here to the near side. Shields, 92 of 154, over 1,200 yards passing this season. McHugh again, the fullback, and he broke one tackle and got inside the 35. Eric Stevens had him initially, but broke that tackle and picked up about 6.
Well, there you see McHugh coming into the season, mostly the short yard situations for him. We'll take another look at this play. Blocking up front. It's really the second effort. See the legs just continue to go, even though he was turned around, moving backwards, going north and south down the football field and getting 3 more yards out of that play.
2nd and 5, and again it's McHugh getting wrapped up by Eric Stevens, but the strength there, Steve, you mentioned the leg strength of Tom McHugh, close to another first down for the Dukes.
Well, McHugh, they're making it easy for him up front. The big guys making way for him. McHugh, though, at 6 foot 250 pounds, he's a load on his own. And the York Dukes have found a way here to move the football on the ground.
4:38 to go here in this first half. 6-0 in favor of the visiting Royals. But the Dukes are driving here. And again, it's McHugh as he drives forward for a couple. So it'll be 2nd down and 8 here for Terry Grider and the Dukes.
When they've tried to go right in the middle, Mark, they haven't had much there. It's really going off end, off tackle, the outside, or they will conceal one of those linebackers and get about 3-4 more yards before anybody's there even to hit a Duke.
Well, York has played 5 teams during the regular season that made the playoffs, and they beat 2 of them, Glenbard West in week 3 and Willowbrook in week 5. Shields, play action, will step up. Saw the quickness by Shields. He's got room inside the 20, 15. Cuts inside, will get brought down close to the 10-yard line. 1st and 10 for Andy Shields and the York Dukes here. Under 4 minutes to go here in this first half.
Great block out front by Brad Hines. And the cornerback Lee out. You won't see him here till the very tail end of it. Great presence to sense the rush coming. Eludes one tackler right there, 88, and there he's pointing out, block him. Allows him to get an extra 10 yards there as Hines was really sealing off Lee on that side.
18-yard pickup for the Dukes. 1st and goal from the 10. McHugh the ball carrier, and he'll get inside the 5, close to the 4-yard line. Stevens was there along with Stefan Zoki, the senior linebacker.
Well, Mark, you mentioned that victory over Glenbard West. That was a 21-13 victory for York. They scored 3 times in the 4th quarter to win that game. You ever see another look at it? It's following his blockers. Well, now they're gonna talk things over here on the Larkin side of things. They've got to regroup defensively.
Football fans, the AT&T Broadband Network will take you through the semifinal round with our Game of the Week playoff coverage. Then on Thanksgiving weekend, you can watch the IHSA State Finals, classes 1A through 8A, live on WYCC TV 20 Chicago. That's Friday, November 29th, Saturday, November 30th. 12 hours of continuous championship action beginning at 10 o'clock each morning. Check your local listings to find the WYCC channel location on your AT&T broadband channel lineup. Games are not available in some areas. Playoff football, nothing like it, my friend. Take a look at the coach. Shaver, high and top. That's a good shot right there.
There's a vantage point up there. Coach and the cameraman up there.
Again, the winner of this game will take on, Steve, the number 1 seeded Wheaton North Falcons, who are winning comfortably, the latest we heard, 21-0 over the 8th seeded Streamwood.
Well, some of those folks are a little chilly, not quite as comfortable maybe, but certainly enjoying this right now as their team threatens to score.
2nd and goal from the 4. 3 backs here for Coach Grider. Dukes threatening, and again, it's McHugh, and McHugh to the 3-yard line. Maybe the 2. And it looks like we've got an injured Royal down, slowly getting up, and now looks like he will be all right. That's number 78 for the Royals, Kevin Kazarek.
Kevin is what you would call big. Takes an awful lot to get that body off the ground, Mark. 6'3", 330 pounds.
And a big heart as well.
Well, indeed. His mom just passed away here 2 weeks ago. Certainly our condolences go out to his family. And kid is showing great resiliency. And he is out there. Mom battled severe illness. Finally passed away here a couple weeks ago.
3rd and goal. McHugh goes in motion. The give is to Patterson. And I don't know, Steve, maybe down to the 1-yard line. Actually, that's Jason Anderson, pardon me. So it'll be 4th and goal from about the 1-yard line, Steve.
They were just beating up on the Royals now here in the trenches on this drive. There you see it again. Nice little surge on that left side of the line. Officials are going to measure this, Mark. It's that close to a first down as well.
Mentioned York. We should mention also Larkin played 4 teams during the regular season that made the playoffs, and they beat only one. That was back in week 2 when they beat Homewood Flossmoor 21-6. Homewood Flossmoor, the number 8 seed, is at Hinsdale Central taking on Coach Schreiner's unbeaten Red Devils.
And Homewood Flossmoor ended up 5-4 in the year. And of all the schools, Mark, only 2 teams that were 5-4, being Chicago Vocational and Edwardsville, were the only teams that didn't make the playoffs with a 5-4 record.
Surprised you knew that. It's a good little trivia question. You were looking at my notes, weren't you? Yeah.
And you thought I was watching the road all the way here. I was looking over at your notes.
Well, you folks at home, what would you do here? Coach Grider and his Dukes are going for it. Why not?
Oh, absolutely. You're going to use those big bodies up front, and probably Tom McHugh again.
Yeah, he's been the workhorse here on this drive, Steve. Long, sustained drive here for the York Dukes, using up much of the second quarter clock.
Now they can't quite figure out what they want to do, and they're going to have to burn a timeout here because the play clock had already started.
2 minutes and 18 seconds to go here in this first half. The Royals on top of the Dukes here by a score of 6-0. And don't forget, you can join Dave Wills and Perry Williams for area high school scores, highlights, and in-depth commentary on Sports Weekly Thursday nights at 6:30 right here on the AT&T Broadband Network. Go to our website, attbroadbandnetwork.com, for more information and additional show times. That's Sports Weekly with Dave Wills and Perry Williams, Thursday nights at 6:30 right here on the AT&T Broadband Network.
Well, Mark, we already mentioned the last time either one of these schools was in the playoffs was 1999. We mentioned all the scores with Larkin, and York started that year out at Hinsdale Central with a victory, 19-7 in the first round. Then they traveled to Plainfield with a 35-0 victory before they lost to Schaumburg in the quarterfinals, they mentioned before. But good to hear that Plainfield, they settled that contract dispute there, and the Wildcats will get to play playoff football here.
Saturday afternoon, they've got a date with the Downers Grove North Trojans tomorrow afternoon. All right, here we go. 4th and goal, Dukes, from the Royals 1. Look for 44, McHugh. Indeed,
there
up the middle, and he is in. Touchdown, York Dukes, and we are tied at 6. Well, there's a great hole there off that left tackle. Sean Kasak and John Bosenberg had a huge hole for McHugh to run through.
Well, as Nathan Wallach mentioned before, just trying to get through this game, get to next week, maybe he can be on the field, and you've got a 1-2 punch like him and McHugh. You're going to be tough to beat. There you see it, nice. Boy, do they seal off to the right to the inside, and McHugh didn't even need that much of a hole to get in.
Boy, McHugh is just kind of putting this offense on his shoulders, Steve, with the injury to Nate Wallach not in there. Tom is saying, hey, come on my shoulders, gang. I will take you to pay dirt. And what a drive it was here for, there you see number 44, Tom McHugh, the 6', 250-pound senior, tying the ball game up here, 6-6, 2 minutes and 16 seconds to go here in this first half. And you can join Lisa Prati for previews of the latest in-demand movies and events, along with her exclusive interviews with today's biggest professional wrestlers on Channel Surfing with Lisa, Friday nights at 6 p.m. right here on the AT&T Broadband Network. That's Channel Surfing with Lisa, Friday nights right here at 6 p.m.
Again, the fake punt set that drive up. 11 plays for the 50 yards, 4.5 minutes is what it took for the York to get on the board, and McHugh accounted for 28 of those yards on the ground of the 50. There you see him, a well-deserved drink.
So Josh Patterson now apparently will come in for the extra point attempt. Brad Hines will hold it for the lead. And it is good. So 7-6, the York Dukes take the lead here on that 1-yard touchdown run by Tom McHugh. Extra point by Patterson, and it's 7-6 Dukes. 2 minutes and 16 seconds to go here in this first half, and we'll step aside and come back to Clarence D. Come back to Elmhurst, Mark Kruger, Steve Moga, Jeff Myers. Along with our producer and director, Andy Zielkowski. You see Josh Patterson teeing it up here for the Dukes.
Mark, I got to point out real quick, there's some other Dukes that were victorious here recently. The Dixon Dukes, so the alma mater of one of our camera guys, Ken Masters, down to my alma mater, my friend, 3-2 in Class A sectional soccer play. Can you believe that?
How much did you pay him to say that? Brad Lee from his own 17-yard line, and Lee straight up the middle as he returns it nicely to the 36-yard line.
Well, unlike the football playoffs where we have 8 divisions, in soccer it's just Class A or Class AA, just like basketball. And Hinckley Big Rock, my alma mater, playing the Dixon Dukes. The Dukes came away with a big victory.
Actually, they're going to spot it, Steve, back at the 34-yard line. 1st and 10 Royals here.
So I got that little plug in there for Ken, Cheetah Masters. And obviously I got to buy dinner now, so.
4 wide receivers out here for the Royals. Out of the shotgun formation, Eric Schultz. 2 minutes to go, first half. Royals and a slant pattern of Davis, who's looking for the flag, but actually pretty good coverage there. Ryan Scott was all over Jawan.
Boy, he was covering him big time. Jawan Davis just turned, and the football was already whizzing past him. I just don't think he reacted to that real well, Mark. I don't think that he knew that was coming yet, because that would have been money right there on the slant pattern.
Try to mention some other playoff games here in Class 8A. Lockport, the Porters, are hosting Neuqua Valley tonight. Naperville North tomorrow afternoon hosting Alton. To the far side, Schultz, and it is incomplete. The intended receiver, Sam Smith, to the far side, incomplete.
Now the pressure that time made him let go of that a little bit sooner than he wanted to.
Also tomorrow afternoon, Downers Grove South, the #1 seeded team, will take on Moline. Here's another look.
Here comes the pressure right there. He takes the hit, gets the ball away, and it just sails on him. And his receiver out there, Sam Smith. Didn't have an opportunity to adjust to the football because it was there a little sooner than he was expecting it. You know, you mentioned Lockport, Mark. 98 was the other time that these Royals were in the playoffs recently, and that was a first-round loss of 61-39 for the Royals. Lockport putting 61 points up there. Still a record for the 2 teams combined in 6A, 100 points.
Quarterback draw, Eric Schultz on 3rd and 10, and he'll get to the 44-yard line. It's going to be close to that first down marker.
Got to throw this out there too, Mark. In that game, the Porters, Craig Dupont, scored 50 points in that game. 8 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion. There you see the quarterback draw. Great move on his part. Very close to that first down. 50 points in one game.
Getting to this season, the Lockport Porters, you remember the week 1 loss to Downers Grove South. They lost 7-3, and they were leading through about the first 3.5 quarters. And since that first loss, they rattled off 8 straight. Watch for the Porters to make some hay here in the postseason.
And it is a first down for the Royals.
It is a first down for the Royals. LaGrange LT tomorrow afternoon will take on Thornton. Also tonight, St. Charles North, #4 seed, will take on Glenbrook North in Class 7A action. You can catch highlights of that ball game on Sports Weekly Thursday night.
No coincidence, though, that the Porters ran off those string of victories after playing that tough defense of Downer South Mustangs in week 1. Certainly got a taste of the top team right away.
Stevens goes in motion. 1st and 10, a pass incomplete. Stevens, the intended receiver. Kevin Scott was there for the Dukes.
Kevin Scott just stayed at home on that play. Boy, just trying to force that pass. I threw it up high for the taller receiver to try and go get the football. Again, Stevens at 6'2". Scott only listed at 5'10". We'll take another look at it again. 2-step, drop out of shotgun, just try to throw it up there for the bigger player to go get.
So 2nd down and 10 now for the Royals. Their own 44, minute 24 to go. Again, Stevens goes in motion here out of the shotgun. Schultz under some pressure, and it's batted down nicely by John Osteen. 6'2", 270-pound senior defensive end for the Dukes.
Oh, that was a fantastic play right there, Mark. Tell you what, we'll take another look at it. Oh, you'll see 3 bodies coming right up the middle, and Osteen all of a sudden said, hey, hold a second, my 2 buddies got you. I'm gonna, fade back here. knowing what the play was, and he batted it down. A great athletic play.
3rd down and 10.
No surprise for a guy who's listed on the roster as a nose guard, a tackle, and an end. Pretty versatile. Showed some athleticism there.
3rd and 10 Royals from their own 44. Again, out of the shotgun here. 4 wide receivers, and again, Stevens goes in motion, but we've got penalty flags.
Too long.
Delay of game penalty against the
5-yard
Royals.
penalty.
Push the ball back 5 yards. Still 3rd down.
Repeat, 3rd down.
So 5-yard walk-off, still 3rd down. We'll get to the rest of a couple other playoff games here, Steve. Glenbard West out of the West Suburban Silver Conference at Mount Prospect tonight in Class 7A. In Class 6A, our buddy Coach Barton and the Glenbard South Raiders at North Chicago tonight. Both of those two teams 7-2. Thought the Raiders would have gotten a home game with their Week 9 victory over Fenton, but it was not to be.
A little disappointed, I'm sure, Coach Jerry Barton and the crew.
3rd and 15. Schultz with the pump fake. Pressure from the blind side. Throws it to Stevens through his hands. Incomplete.
Stevens incomplete.
And it'll bring out 4th down. Ryan Scott was there on the coverage for the Dukes, along with Kevin Scott.
Well,
Kevin
again,
and
the
Ryan
Dukes
Scott on the coverage.
making some adjustments defensively. They're running a couple defenders at the quarterback just about every play, making him get rid of the football a little quicker. Just hasn't been able to connect on many passes here through this 2nd quarter.
Nathan Clancy was there on the pressure from the blind side on Schultz.
You mentioned all these other games tonight, Mark. This is the only game that started at 7:30. All the other games start at 7 p.m. tonight.
Schultz, and it's Josh Patterson.
Oh, look at that bounce.
Inside the 15, and it'll stop at the 11-yard line. So that's where the Dukes will take over here. 1 minute and 9 seconds to go here in this first half. Eric Schultz got the kind roll. So we take a look at the final standings of the West Suburban Silver Conference. You see the Red Devils perfect, 6-0. Downers Grove North with a 5-1 second place finish. Lyons Township, York, Glenbard West, Oak Park River Forest, and then Proviso West. Top 5 teams in that conference making it to postseason.
Well, Mark, we got the opportunity to see Hinsdale Central play these Dukes early in the year, and I tell you what, Hinsdale Central is the cream of the crop.
And McHugh, the ball carrier, and
McHugh with
the
the carry.
14-yard line. That was a 51-yard punt by Schultz to pin
Tackle made by
the
number
Dukes
25,
back in their, deep in their own
Steve.
territory here. Under a minute to go in this first half.
Yeah, Coach
Hello,
Ken
number
Schreiner's Red
73,
Devils, Mark,
Jim
led by Brian
Conrad.
Grezlakowski, the outstanding running
They
back.
go up 2 yards on the play. Second
They've
and
been
8 for the
pretty
Dukes.
good this year, and they took it really to these Dukes in our game of the week, 55 to 14. A game that was a kind of a shootout in the first quarter, 14-all as I recall, maybe 21-14 I think, Hinsdale Central, and they just kind of ran away with it after a while.
Brad Bauer, the fine quarterback.
Oh,
for the Red Devils.
fantastic night he had that night. Christian Arquilla had 5 big catches for him as well.
Shields on the bootleg here to the near side, and will get repped up by Stevens. About the 16-yard line. Yeah, Bauer threw for 3 touchdowns in that game and also ran for 3 touchdowns, I believe.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns actually,
2,
Mark,
okay.
and almost threw for 300 yards in that game. We'll take another look at this last play, and you see him get tossed onto the track here to the tail. And of course, York High School known very well for its track and its cross country, Mark. They're kind of the New York Yankees of high school cross country in Illinois. 21 state titles for the Dukes.
3rd and 8 for the Dukes.
So it'll be 3rd down and 8 yards to go here for the Dukes with exactly 20 seconds to go from their own 13-yard line.
Did you like that? Or would you prefer Boston Celtics over the NBA kind of thing, since it's green as well?
Ah, not too bad.
All right.
McHugh has some room.
McHugh
Tackled
with the
from
carry across
behind
the
by
25-yard line to
Stevens
about
at the
the 26, where he
26-yard
finally got
line. A 13-yard pickup.
Tackle
First
made
and
by
10.
number
Hurry up
8,
offense for the
Steve
Dukes.
Ross.
15 seconds to
Good
go
for first down
in the
yardage for the
first
Dukes.
half. And now out of the shotgun, Andy Shields. McHugh, the lone setback to his left. Shields here to the near side and going out of bounds quickly is Brad Hines, the senior wide out. Brad, 21 catches, 201 yards coming into this game. Steps out of bounds, stops the clock, 7 seconds to go. The 34.
Well, Mark, if you can repeat that type of situation right there, get another 10, 15 yards and a little down and out on the sideline, stop the clock with maybe a second or two to get one shot at the end zone.
7-6 in favor of the Dukes. If you've just joined us, 7 seconds to go here in this first half. Mark Kruger, Steve Moga, Jeff Myers from York High School. Shields out of the gun. Pump fake. Far side, and a pass incomplete. Ryan Belleville, the intended receiver. Clock stops with exactly 1 second remaining in the half.
Third down.
Well, maybe good that he didn't catch that, because that would have extinguished our first half of play. To get at least one more shot at it. Anything is possible.
You see Andy Shields there, 3-year starter. I tell you, he is a smart kid as well, Steve, on a 4.0 scale, a 4.6 grade point average.
You and I combined weren't 4.6, were we?
No. Third and about 2 yards to go. Shields, last play of the first half. Now some pressure rolling here to the near side, and he will get tackled out of bounds. Doesn't look like there's any flags thrown.
Shields is driven out of bounds.
Do it.
Close out the first
The
half.
end of the first half. Here, an exciting first half here at Clarence D. East Field. The Royals of Larkin took the early 6-0 lead, and then the Dukes came back. Extra point, they lead it 7-6. Let's go down to the field. Jeff Myers is standing by. Jeff.
All right, thanks, guys. Coach, you got McHugh running well here in the second quarter.
Well, he's coming along for us, yeah. We're counting on him tonight. We lost our tailback, and McHugh's got to make some plays for us tonight.
Your tailback had the bad knee and never could really get started.
Yeah, he can't go tonight. We'll see what happens in the future, but he can't go tonight.
Larkin has lots of offensive looks. You're doing well on defense.
Oh, yeah, we're playing nice defense. We got to make a couple more tackles, and we get them passing the ball. That's what we want to get them passing the ball.
Defensive key in the second half?
Well, we got to make them pass the ball. All right? Make them pass the ball.
All right, thanks, Coach. Coach Terry Greiner, halftime it is. Back to you guys.
All right, Jeff, thank you very much. Halftime here in Elmhurst. It's the Dukes over the Royals by a score of 7-6, and we'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back to Elmhurst, the opening round of the Class 8A playoffs. The number 5-seeded Larkin and number 4-seeded York Dukes. As, Steve, we take a look at the first half stats, not a whole heck of a lot of offense, as both defenses are taking center stage here tonight.
Yeah, they made some adjustments on both sides of the football, and tell you what, the first touchdown for the Royals keyed by a couple costly Duke penalties, and just the reverse, a gamble by the Royals on the fake punt didn't work, turned it into somewhat of a short field, giving them the football at midfield instead of pinning them back at their own end, and they really got aggressive at that point with their running game, and Tom McHugh carried the load to get them into the end zone and the extra point to take the lead. But as you see the numbers there, everything very even passing and rushing. Turnovers, that one turnover really didn't hurt them that bad, but certainly a game where both teams feeling each other out here at the outset, and tell you what, it's anybody's game here from here on out, because it just may come down to a big play.
And with Nate Wallach out of the ball game, you would think that this Royal defense will be starting to lean towards Tom McHugh.
Yeah, you think that would be the case, and obviously the Duke defense made some adjustments on the passing attack of the Royals there in that second quarter to keep them in check, so they're going to have to figure some things out. Dale Sharbert and company, and I'm sure our Jeff Myers will be able to talk to Coach about that before our second half starts.
All right, we are at halftime here in Elmhurst. There you see the halftime score, I should say. The Dukes over the Royals by a score of 7-6. We'll be back with the start of the third quarter right after this.
Coach Dale Shaver, we start the third quarter.
Just gonna have to execute better, Jeff. You know, we've done some things out here. We just missed on a few plays, and we just got to get our assignments down. Just got to do a better job executing. That's all it is right now.
All right, throwing game looks real good.
Well, not really, but we're going to stay after it. I think we just catch a couple footballs. We got a different game right now, so we'll see what happens.
All right, thanks. Coach Dale Shaver, as we talk high top press box here, we'll send it back to you guys in the booth.
All right, Jeff, thank you very much, and be careful getting down there, partner.
Well, Jeff's going to come through the press box to get back down from the top of the press box. He's probably not going to want to leave, Mark. It's kind of warm in here compared to out there.
Well, you saw Coach Shabert a little bit concerned there of his team, but a couple of fine catches by Tom Kelly had a nice catch, Jawan Davis, Eric Stevens, but not enough for Coach Schaber in that first half.
All right, those were early on in that first quarter, and they really have been stymied. Their passing attack has been stymied, and through most of that second quarter, the Duke's definitely making some adjustments. And of course, his son Matt, outstanding quarterback for these Royals, and was one of the leaders of that '99 playoff team. Now at the University of Wisconsin, a backup quarterback there, and they just want to get that kind of passing attack going again that they had back in that day. And right now, they're just not clicking on all cylinders, especially through that later part of the second quarter.
Duke's on top here at the halftime, 7-6 over the Royals. Steve Rucks getting ready to kick off here for the Larkin Royals. We mentioned the Royals coming into this game, a 3-game winning streak. Week 7, knocking off Waubonsee Valley. Week 8, St. Charles East. Week 9, Rockford East. Dukes, a 2-game losing streak, losing to Downers Grove North in Week 8, and then losing last week in Week 9 to Lyons Township. But throw away the regular season. This is the playoffs, and everybody's 0-0, right, Steve?
Oh, indeed they are. And anything
Everybody
can
up for the
happen.
kickoff.
Obviously, two very evenly matched teams, and reflecting that in the scoreboard here as well. It's going to be a great second half. Football, it's anybody's game right now.
Saw briefly there Brian Belleville. He is back deep for the Dukes. Rucks, low line drive, and Belleville will pick it up at his own 13. And he's to the 23-yard line, so a 10-yard return, and the Dukes will take over. They lead by 1 here as we start third quarter action.
Pretty good kick team coverage there for the Royals. There you see them trying to get warmed up again here.
Dukes averaging over 26 points per game. During the regular season, the Royals defensively allowing 13.4 points per game. It's been a defensive effort here thus far in the first half. 7-6 in favor of the Dukes. Pump fake by Shields, and it will be incomplete. May have been deflected there at the line of scrimmage. Jim Cothran may have gotten a hand on it.
You see it. Belleville walking back to the huddle, head down, a little timing play there. Thrown off. Pump fake. Quick down and out, and off the mark.
So second down and 10 now as Andy Shields comes running into the huddle. Number 15 for the Dukes, second and 10. Terry Grider, we mentioned his 3rd year as a head coach, his 30th year with the program. He's been an assistant. Touched on the history of these York Dukes. They started playing football back in 1918. Have the Dukes, second and 10. The pitch to Belleville, and he goes nowhere. Brought down by Stefan Zoki, the linebacker.
Well, they've played in, like you say, 1918. One of the longest rivalries in DuPage County against Hinsdale Central since 1920.
So a loss of 5 as we take another look. It'll bring an upcoming 3rd and 15.
Great
So
job.
Zoki, wrapping up Belleville by his jersey. 3rd and 15 from the 20-yard line, Steve. The Dukes. Opening minute here of this third quarter, 7-6. Dukes on top.
Zoki ran him down on that play. He's a contained man on the backside of that. Did a great job.
3 wide outs out of the shotgun. Pump fake Stevens with some pressure, and Stevens will sack Shields back at the 10. Wow, big defensive play there by Stevens. He was applying the pressure, and now the Royals will get excellent field position. Brandon Ryan was in there as well. Here's another look at it. Stevens coming from the left side of your screen there.
Forces him to step up, and he runs right in to Ryan. And now it looks like the Royals are the shoe's gonna be on the other foot. They're gonna have pretty good field position when they get this football.
Josh Patterson from his own goal line, a high snap. Patterson with an excellent punt. All the way to the 48-yard line is Lee. And Lee returns it to the 43-yard line of York, so a 10-yard return for Lee, but good field position here for the Royals.
Well, whereas York started around midfield for their scoring drive, now the Royals with a somewhat short field. See if they can get that passing attack going that really was missing through that second quarter. You know, back in, what was it, week 2 when they downed Homewood Flossmoor 21-6. Eric Schultz was on that night, 238 yards passing, a couple touchdowns.
The give is to Wilharm. Dave has some room, cuts to the outside, inside the 30 and wrapped up at the 25-yard line by Ryan Scott.
Ball goes out to number 23, Dave Wilharm. That's good for first
Boy,
down.
Wilharm with a burst of speed. We'll take another look at it, my friend.
Tackle is made by number 11, Ryan
Great
Scott.
block right there, the outside. Credit 57, Luke Engen, for really springing that play, and Wilharm kind of did it on his own after that.
23-yard gain by Wilharm. And the Royals driving here, their first possession of this third quarter. 1st and 10 for the 26. Again, it's Wilharm, and he'll get wrapped up from the ankles by Jason Anderson. Back at the line of scrimmage, it'll be 2nd down and 10 for Larkin.
20, Jason Anderson. No gain on the play, 2nd and 10.
2 minutes gone by here in this third quarter. 7-6 in favor of the Dukes. Mark Cooper, Steve Mogan, Jeff Myers, our AT&T Broadband Daily Herald Playoff Game of the Week.
Thank you very
Coming
much,
to you from
gentlemen.
Clarence D. East Field here in Elmhurst on the campus of York High School. 2nd and 10 now for the Royals. Play action. And out here, the pass is complete to Brad Lee, and Brad Lee gets wrapped up inside the 10 to about the 6. Rick Tarsitano was there on the tackle. It will be 1st and goal for the Royals.
Inside the 10-yard line.
Another look at it again. A little misdirection the other way. Here he comes right out of the backfield in stride. And they are in business here, knocking on the door immediately here in the second quarter.
15-yard reception, the little screen from Schultz to Brad Lee, and it's 1st and goal, Royals from the 6. Schultz, the pitch to Lee, and Lee gets met right back at the line of scrimmage there by Juan Ochoa, a 5'10" senior defensive tackle. 2nd and goal.
There you see it again. And not much for Lee there. Tried to step to the outside and shut it off.
May have even lost a yard, so 2nd and goal. They spot it at the 7. Davis and Kelly, your 2 wideouts here, split backfield. Schultz under center. The give is to Wilharm, and Dave to about the 5-yard line. 2-yard pickup. Gary Madro, the linebacker, was there on the tackle. So it'll be 3rd down and goal, Royals from the 5.
3rd and goal, just inside the 5.
See if the Royals do a little play action here and try to throw the ball into the end zone. 3rd and goal from the 5. Davis and Kelly now to the right of your screen. Brad Lee is the lone setback. Wilharm in the slot to the right. Play action rolling to the right. He's got Wilharm, but he's met at the 1. He did not get in, I don't believe. It'll be 4th and goal from about the 1. A good hit that time defensively. Brian Belleville, the safety. Steve, here's another look. Good play call by Schultz and the Royals.
Yeah, it looked like a sweep to the right-hand side, and he peels off the line. A great hit indeed by Belleville to save that touchdown as he came flying up from his safety position.
4th and goal, Royals here. Just over 7 minutes to go here in this third quarter. 7-6 in favor of the Dukes, but the Royals threatening here. 3 backfield. The give is to Lee, and he will get, I don't think so. The Dukes defense has held. They give it to Wilharm, number 23, and he was met short of the goal line. Here's another look.
Take another look at it again. Right there, a huge hit up front. He tried to get that leg surge. He is definitely short of the goal line. A great goal line stand for these Dukes, and a momentum changer possibly, Mark. The key is here, they've got to move the football a little bit to get it out of their end. Because indeed, if they have to punt away again, they don't want to continue to give the Royals a short field.
7 minutes to go here in this third quarter. A tremendous stop by this Duke defense.
Oh, what a difference when you don't have a guy 6 foot, 250 pounds in that backfield like Tom McHugh to punch it through for that 1 yard.
Now, speaking of McHugh, he gets the call here and maybe out to the 2, but that's about it. Yeah, that's about it.
Trying to get a little breathing room.
Jim Cothran was there on the tackle, so it'll be 2nd down and 9 here for the Dukes. From their own 2. Shields comes back in. Of course, the Dukes' career passing yardage leader. Shields last year threw for over 1,400 yards. This year, threw for over 1,200 yards. 2nd and 9, Dukes from the 2. And again, it's McHugh, but again, that Royal defense meeting him up the middle, clogging it up for a minimal gain, maybe a yard. It'll be 3rd and 8.
Not much there in the interior. They had some success on that scoring drive, Mark, going off and a little bit more. Going to the outside.
Jim Cothran there, you see big number 73 in the middle of your screen there, along with number 78, Kevin Kazarek.
Big bodies up there plugging things for the Royals.
Split backfield. Here comes Shields rolling out here to the near side. Will keep it himself. Misses a tackle, and he will get brought down at the 8-yard line. Kelly knocking him out of bounds along with Steve Rux. I believe it's going to be short of the first down, but a flag is down. And it'll be a holding call, my oh my, against the Dukes. Here's another look, Steve.
You see it there, and just enough to force him to the outside, allow a couple other teammates to get there to make the tackle. There you see number 8, Steve Rux, kind of finishing him off. Tom Kelly there, the other initial hit. They discussed things here in the penalty. I would almost imagine, Mark, that they would decline this and make it 4th down and make them punt, right?
Interesting call.
But they're really discussing this, whether or not they're going to take it.
If they take the penalty, then they're going to push them back to, what, about the 2 maybe?
Oh, what's the difference of a couple of yards at this point?
Don't decline it.
Yeah, they are going to decline it, looks like, Steve. Get the call here from Mike Ryer.
I've got a holding, declined, 4th down, 4th down, 4th down.
So the Royals do indeed decline the penalty. The Dukes will be punting from their own end zone, and the Royals should have excellent field position here. Brad Lee goes back deep for the Royals, and Josh Patterson now with some pressure as he will punt just outside his end zone, it looks like. Patterson, oh, another good punt. He's had a couple. Lee all the way back at his 46, drops it, picks it up, comes here to the near side and will go nowhere. Flags thrown, however, on the play. Nice open field tackle by John Ostin, but a penalty marker down on the field. A 52-yard punt by Josh Patterson, but we'll see what the flag is all about.
Well, Josh Patterson comes up big again, and Ostin with another nice open field tackle. He's had some nice plays here tonight as well. I think, Mark, that might be some sort of legal block to even push the Royals back farther, so it really will negate a great defensive stand for them, looking to get the football in good field position. And instead of having it near midfield, they're going to be backed up in their territory a bit here.
Well, Steve,
it may even have been a clip.
How important, especially in playoff games, special teams, the little things we always talk about, right?
Yeah, we've said it so many times, and it's really the close games where the special teams really come into play, and this obviously being a very close game. You know, a key play here or there by your special teams, a great punt to get you out of a hole, change the position of the football on the field. And basically, you're just changing territory, getting a little oxygen as well at the same time.
They also got a block in the back. All right? Come here.
Block in the back for the Royals, says Mike Ryer. He's talking with the Dukes captains. I thought there was 2 penalties, Steve, against the Royals, and I think that's what they're talking about, which one they want to take, which one will be more beneficial for the Dukes. But a 52-yard punt by Josh Patterson added onto that, a penalty for the Royals, and this will push them back.
Oh, well, you choose good or better.
Well,
if you're the Dukes here.
The Dukes, they're saying that they may have the ball here.
Well, do they assess? They don't assess that at the beginning of this play, Mark. That's what the players there are getting excited, thinking, hold it, we're going to get the football. That's going to give us enough yards for first down, but obviously that's not the case.
Right.
They'll assess that here at the end of this. They'll just back up the Royals. Just depends on how far.
And don't forget, you can catch Inside AT&T Broadband for the latest news and technology about your cable provider with Kelly Polizzi. Friday nights at 9:30 right here on the AT&T Broadband Network. That's Inside AT&T Broadband, Friday nights at 9:30 with Kelly Polizzi.
Well, Mark, just before he caught the football, apparently there was a push in the back, so they're going to give them the yardage.
Well, they're
Interesting.
spotting the ball at the 14-yard line. The Duke offense is out there, Andy Shields and company. So
And
the Dukes will have it 1st and 10.
Official on the far side now trying to explain this to the Royals coaching staff and players over there going, hold on a second, I've never seen or heard anything like that before. The play was before the football, the penalty actually was before the football was actually caught, or I should say fumbled and then retrieved by Lee. And indeed, the extra yardage gives the Dukes the 1st down. Go figure. Wow.
Duke crowd liking that call by the official. Coach Shaburn has to be absolutely beside himself right now.
I tell you what, well, several other coaches on that side, and now there's going to be another flag, or there's some other coaches for the Larkin side very animated and very upset with that call. Now they're going to attack an unsportsmanlike penalty against the Royal sideline.
Wow. So add on another 15 yards.
Well, Mark, those kinds of things either turn the game around or really get your guys fired up, or obviously put you back in a hole.
I've got dead ball. Like over here.
Well, you know, Halloween may have been yesterday, but trick or treat here has repeated itself here for the York Dukes here tonight.
So 1st and 10 Dukes, they actually spotted their own 29-yard line after the 15-yard walk-off.
Boy, that is just a huge series of events.
So Andy Shields and the Dukes a moment ago were punting out of their own end zone. Now it's 1st and 10 from their own 29. McHugh the ball carries. He cuts to the outside where he meets Eric Stevens for a gain of about 3 to the 32-yard line. By the way, the crew and me would like to thank you for the Halloween trick-or-treat candy that you provided us before the game. We appreciate that.
Well, I should have given it to you earlier because I ate a little bit too much of it myself. Tell you what, our Jeff Myers will appreciate this as well. I called you during the whole festivities last night, and you were hiding with your lights off, the flashlight, so nobody would think you were home because you were afraid to give out candy.
You said you weren't going to tell. 2nd and 8, Shields straight back, deep across the middle, and it is incomplete. The intended receiver, Brian Belleville, and Brian, you saw the frustration, wanted that one back. Davis was there defensively.
Yeah, Davis talking to him a little bit as well, saying just keep trying to come my way. But Davis pretty lucky that that ball went off his hands, and again, a cold night like this may have had an effect on that, just off the fingertips. But at this point, Mark, obviously the players in the field are not even really cold anymore. You're working hard and you're moving around. It's you and I and the other people on the sidelines, the fans, who are the cold ones at this point.
3rd down and 8 for the Dukes. They have the 1-point lead here, 7-6, 4.5 to go here in this 3rd quarter.
Well, big 3rd down play for this defense again to really, well, okay, they're going to talk things over. Did not like what they saw.
Timeout taken by the York Dukes. And football fans, don't forget the AT&T Broadband Network will take you through the semifinal round with our Game of the Week playoff coverage. Then on Thanksgiving weekend, you can watch the IHSA State Finals, classes 1A through 8A, live on WYCC TV 20 Chicago. That's Friday, November 29th, and Saturday, November 30th. 12 hours of continuous championship action beginning at 10 o'clock each morning. Check your local listings to find the WYCC channel location on your AT&T broadband channel lineup. Games are not available in some areas. Mark Kruger, Steve Moga, welcoming you here to our AT&T Game of the Week here in Elmhurst. It's been a great ball game, 7-6, the Dukes over the Royals, Steve.
It's been a great game indeed, and a very big momentum possibly changer here a moment ago, but this Royal defense have to get one more big stop here and get the football back.
3rd and 8 for Andy Shields and the York Dukes. From their own 31-yard line, straight drop. Reebok coming from the blind side, can't get there. Shields throws it, and the pass is incomplete again. The intended receiver was Belleville.
Number 5 to 1, Davis has the coverage.
Jawan Davis was there on the coverage, but Eric Reebok applying the pressure from behind. Steve, here's another look.
Well, that was the key here. He wanted to set up right there and had to roll out a little farther, and Belleville making an adjustment on his route, but it allowed Davis to recover and get there and just get a hand on it and knock it away.
Brad Lee is back for the Royals. Josh Patterson will punt it away here for the Dukes. 4:23 to go here in this third quarter.
Uh-oh.
So barring any penalties here, the Royals will have the ball. Did he drop on it? Lee, that could be a loose ball. It's down at the 19-yard line. Did he touch it? Yes.
My.
They're saying Brad Lee did indeed touch the ball, so it was a live ball, and the Dukes covered up. Pat Callahan, number 22, may have done it. Take another look here, Steve. We'll see if Brad Lee touches the ball. If he does, it's a live ball.
Bounces right there, and he should have just gotten away from it at that point. Oh, it bounced right over his arm. He never touched that. He never touched
Hard
that
to
at
tell.
all.
It may have gotten maybe his jersey. I don't know, Steve. That was
That
was awful tough. Jason Anderson, number 20, was there.
Mark, that didn't hit enough to even get first base if you were up at the plate.
1st and 10 from the 19. McHugh, the ball carrier. McHugh inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. A 5-yard pickup by the senior fullback.
Another good kick, and once it takes that kind of bounce, he probably should have just gotten away from it at that point. Bounced right over his arm, didn't touch him at all. And a break again for the Dukes.
Yeah, you didn't see any misdirection of the football as it went over his left arm. Like I said, it may have touched a piece of his jersey, if at all.
57-yard change of real estate.
2nd and 5, Steve, and it's McHugh, the ball carrier, racked up by Eric Reebok, number 83, the defensive end. 3rd down and a couple here. 3:25 to go here in this third quarter.
Boy, more important than the 57 yards, obviously, the retaining possession. And boy, just like that, they're in business, knocking on the door again, and just a game-changing type of play. Boy, talk about trick or treat. I mean, we've had trick and treat here now in the last couple of minutes for Duke, for the York Dukes.
And the Dukes have had possession of the ball throughout almost this entire third quarter.
Wow, well, other than Larkin knocking on the door with a short field and not getting in the end zone, it has been all York.
3rd and 3. The pitch is to Belleville in the backfield, and he will go nowhere. A loss of a couple on the play. Eric Stevens was there. Jim Cothran was also there, among others. Here's another look.
Oh, I mentioned Eric Stevens on the outset of our broadcast, and there he's going to come in and eventually make that tackle. It initially was number 8, Steve Rux, who really came to the far to the outside to try and force Belleville back in, and that allowed Stevens to get there. We mentioned how quick Stevens is, and he has been in the backfield a few times tonight, just as we promised in our pregame.
Oh, that was a huge defensive play by the Royals, all the way back to the 17-yard line. So now on 4th and 7, Josh Patterson will come in and attempt the field goal.
Well, he's capable of doing this one, no problem.
34-yard field goal attempt. Oh, plenty of distance by Josh Patterson, and it is good. So the Dukes extend the lead now, 10-6 over the Royals with exactly 2 minutes remaining here in this third quarter. A 34-yard field goal by Josh Patterson.
Well, again, that's another one of those ace in the holes that the Dukes have, is the foot of Josh Patterson. We've seen it as a punter. There we saw it as a place kicker. Yeah, that's not a problem for him. They're 34 yards. You're talking 50, that might be a different story, but he certainly has a strong leg. He's shown that here tonight. He's shown it all throughout the season, and he booted that with plenty to spare.
Well, the winner of tonight's game, Steve, will indeed take on the number 1 seeded Wheaton North Falcons. Wheaton North with a 42-20 victory tonight over Streamwood. And Coach Foster's Falcons move on to the second round of the playoffs. As you see Josh Patterson teeing it up for the Dukes. Lee and Davis, there you see them back deep for the Royals. 10-6 in favor of the York Dukes. Good ball game here. Opening round Class 8A playoffs. And this will be Davis in the end zone. It'll be a touchback, so the Royals 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line here. 2 minutes remaining in this third quarter.
Well, Mark, that last little scoring drive, so to speak, for York, 10 plays, 4 minutes and 1 second of time possession-wise, 99 yards of real estate transpired in the course that obviously the punt and the call going against the Royals was a key play to that situation, but 99 yards, they started that at their own 1.
Well, see what the Royals can do offensively. Larkin averaging just under 20 points per game during the regular season. Davis coming in motion here to the near side. Handing it off to Brad Lee, and Brad Lee will get tripped up by Belleville. Minimal gain. Another look at it here, Steve.
Bradley trying to bounce to the outside, and the Dukes cover it up quite nicely.
1 yard pickup by Lee, so 2nd and 9 from the 21-yard line. Minute and a half remaining here in this third quarter.
The key at this point, Mark, is not to panic if you're Larkin. A lot of time, obviously. Just got to get a nice sustained drive like you had a little bit earlier in this game.
2nd and 9. The give is to Wilharm, and Dave with a flag thrown across the 20. 5 to the 26-yard line. And this one will go against the Royals.
It looked like Luke Engen, the guilty party of the chop block.
Captain.
So the referee, Mike Ryer, will talk to the captain of the Dukes defensive team.
Marco, what did you go as for Halloween, by the way?
I've got it blocked below the waist against the offense. We're going to repeat 2nd down.
They're going to repeat 2nd down.
I didn't know that was a funny question.
Whoa.
There you see some of the battle scars here tonight. It's obviously a chilly night. You see the steam coming off the head of lineman right there, Sean Kasak.
After the penalty against the Royals, it's 2nd down and 20. 4 wide receivers, 3 to the top of your screen. As Schultz steps up, and the pass is incomplete. Some heavy pressure, to say the least, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Well, Austin there again at 31. That was Tyler Bruzewitz. And the two of them got to him just enough time here. You see him roll to his right, realizes he's going to have to step up, and right there when he tried to set it, was just that a little bit forcing him to step up in the pocket, allowed them to catch up on the play and hit hard just as he was releasing that football.
Bruzewitz, we mentioned 5'11", 212-pound senior.
Well, you didn't answer the question. You obviously
ate
all your own candy since you didn't give any out.
I was studying, preparing for our ball game here tonight. That's 3rd down and 20. Schultz out of the shotgun. The slant to Jawan Davis is incomplete. And it's going to be 4th down, and the Royals now will punt deep from their own end.
Well, guess who was there again? John Ost. Right there in his face. Almost gave it away a little too soon. As soon as he caught it, he turned and looked that way immediately, and by the time he got a handle on it, that half a second or so to throw the football, Austin just stepped up and was there all over Davis.
Eric Schultz to punt it away for the Royals. Josh Patterson is back deep for the Dukes, standing at his own 43-yard line.
Nice.
Patterson calling for the fair catch, and he does at the 44-yard line of the Royals. A 34-yard punt that time by Eric Schultz, and the Dukes, a chilly night here at Elmhurst. York on top here 10-6 with 44 seconds to go here in this third quarter. So Andy Shields and the Duke offense set up shop at the 44-yard line of the Royals here. Belleville and Brad Hines to the bottom of your screen. McHugh, the lone setback here. 1st and 10 for the Dukes. McHugh gets the call. McHugh will have a 1st down. 12-yard pickup off of left tackle, and Tom McHugh giving his Dukes a 1st down here.
Well, you go back to what was working earlier, and that's what exactly was happening on their first scoring drive of this game. Their only real touchdown scoring drive of this game. McHugh going off left tackle, going off that left side an awful lot, and there he picks up a first down just like that.
From the 33-yard line of the Royals, half a minute remaining here in this third quarter. McHugh again the ball carrier. This time about a yard or two, as the middle was plugged up in a hurry that time.
That's going to be our last play of this third quarter. And a touchdown here would be a huge play for York here as we head into the fourth quarter. They get one on this drive.
End of three quarters from Clarence D. East Field in Elmhurst. The Dukes over the Royals, 10-6. Back with the fourth quarter in a moment.
Serving all of Chicagoland.
Andrew Williams dragging about 3-4 guys with him. Number 40, talked about him on the open. Two-way player, plays in that defensive line, and what a tough run. He didn't run much last year for Waukegan, so Andrew probably talked Coach Neff into very, very serious health problems the last few years, but he is a real inspiration to that entire Waukegan football program.
Second down and 7 for the York Dukes as we begin fourth quarter action. Belleville out on the far side is wrapped up at the 26-yard line by Joanne Davis. Let's go down to the sidelines. Jeff Myers is standing by. Jeff.
Hey guys, what's a sporting event without Thunderstick? So let's get the York Duke fans. What's your name?
DJ. Kristen. Justin. Chelsea.
Do your duty. How about some Thunderstick? We thank the Anaheim Angels for that. Back to the game, guys.
Whoever invented that, Steve, is making a fortune.
It is all the rage right now, to say the least. Yeah, they do make an awful lot of noise, and unfortunately, they don't make much heat on a night like tonight.
Yeah. 3rd and 3. McHugh will have a first down for the York Dukes. Steve Rux, the strong safety, tripped them up, but not before. McHugh picks up a Duke first down. Here's another look at it.
Well, again, going to that left side. Great job of sealing on the inside. Take one of the linebackers out, and he's able to get the yardage that he needs.
Boy, Tom McHugh has just done an outstanding job here tonight for the Dukes, picking up the running game.
16 carries for 60 yards for McHugh for the ball game.
Without Nate Wallach in the lineup. Nate, of course, running for over 1,200 yards during the regular season. Shields looking deep across the middle to Belleville. Touchdown! York Dukes, 21 yards. Andy Shields to Brian Belleville. Brian's 9th touchdown of this season. And the Dukes are on top now, 16-6.
Well, how many times have we seen them try and go to Belleville on one particular pattern or another? That time made the adjustment. He went long to the middle of the field. Made that fake to the outside. How many times has Davis been out there? And this time he cut to the inside and beat him.
Brad Hines the hold for Josh Patterson. The extra point attempt by Josh is good. So the score now, the York Dukes 17, the Larkin Royals 6. 10 minutes and 50 seconds remaining here. And we mentioned the winner of this game will take on the #1 seed, Wheaton North Falcons, next week, the second round of the playoffs. The other two games, Steve, as we take another look at this 21-yard pass from Shields to Belleville.
There it was. He brought that arm up. It wasn't even so much a pump fake as it was just bringing the arm up there as Belleville made the adjustment on the route. There you see, he's looking at him the whole way, Mark.
Oh, yeah.
Looking at him the whole way. He knows where he's going. Look at a perfect spiral right in stride.
His favorite receiver. 52 catches coming into this game for Belleville.
5 plays, 44 yards, minute 6 off the clock for that touchdown. The 21-yard strike to Brian Belleville.
Mentioned the other two games in this quadrant. Lake Park tonight hosting West Chicago. and Bartlett hosting Willowbrook. The Hawks, of course, the champions of the Upstate 8 Conference. Of course, the speedy recovery to Bartlett's head coach Dick Stevens, who had heart surgery earlier this season. Tom Meany, the defensive coordinator, was taking over for him. Certainly we wish the best for Coach Stevens as he recovers. Jawan Davis from his own 10 for the Royals. Straight up the middle as he gets across the 25 to the 27-yard line, and so the Royals offensively going back to work.
And go to work they need to, for sure. Now a late flag at the tail end of this, Mark. Again, emotion spilling over a little bit here. The intensity of a playoff game. We'll see the York cheerleaders. Where's Jeff at? Is he right in the middle of that somewhere?
I'm sure he's in the middle of that somewhere.
Now we've got unsportsmanlike conduct against the Dukes.
Wow.
So they shoot themselves in the foot here a little bit. See if the Royals can capitalize. Suddenly now they're going to have at least decent field position here.
11-point game, so the Royals obviously need 2 scores here. 10:43 to go here in this fourth quarter.
Of course, we've mentioned before these two teams with some playoff history. 92, York hosted Wheaton Warrenville South in the first round 5A playoff game, lost 17-14. That year the Tigers won the title in double overtime against Joliet Catholic, as you recall, Mark.
First and 10 Royals, the draw to the shotgun to Brad Lee. Brad Lee to the 44. About a 2-yard pickup here, so second down and 8. Tyler Bruzowitz, the middle linebacker, was there on the hit. Take a look at McHugh there, trying to pump up his Duke team.
There you see Lee trying to fight his way there. Not much going on. Of course, in 95, the Dukes also played Wheaton Warrenville South in a 6A semifinal. The Tigers again coming away with a 29-7 victory. The following week, they beat Naperville Central 22-21 for the state title.
Second down and 8, Royals from their own 44. Schultz to the air, and the pass is incomplete. Jawan Davis, the intended receiver. Davis looking for a flag, and he is indeed going to get it at the 41.
Well, you got to go for the football, simple as that, and there's a hand on the back there, and that's what the flag was for. That is going to go against the defense. There's contact on both sides there, really, Mark, but the difference was Davis was actually going for the football.
Well, you mentioned Wheaton Warrenville South for the first time in, what, 14
I got
years?
pass interference against the defense. It's an automatic first down.
So first and 10 on the defensive pass interference call for the Royals. Of course, Naperville Central not in postseason as well, both of those two teams for a long time representing the DuPage Valley Conference in postseason. First and 10 from the 41-yard line of the Dukes here. 9:55 remaining. 17-6 in favor of the Dukes. Schultz again out of the shotgun. And the pass is incomplete. The intended receiver, Sam Smith, a little bit underthrown. Patterson was there on the coverage for the Dukes. Second down and 10.
Well, Sam Smith didn't pick up that football till about the 15-yard line. Unfortunately, he had to stop and try and come back, and it was a little late. There you see it again, 16 carries, 60 yards for Tom McHugh with a touchdown I mentioned a few moments ago, and he has certainly been the workhorse for them here tonight in the absence of Nathan Wallen.
Well, second down and 10 now for the Royals. And you go to the air here, Steve, and plenty of time left to go. 9:48 to go.
Well, they went for the 6 there in that last play, trying for the quick strike after the first down play. And
5 wide receivers.
Spread it out, they'll spread it out. Continue to go their bread and butter here.
Stevens goes in motion again out of the shotgun. Schultz with some time across the middle, incomplete. The intended receiver was Kelly. And the coverage there, John Slowinski.
Well, I'm not sure why Brad Lee didn't go for that football. He curled back, and he just kind of stood there and watched it fly by him. It looked like a situation where he could have caught that, but it wasn't right to him, so he let it go, and Kelly had defender all over him.
See Eric Schultz talking with one of the Royal coaches there on the sideline. He runs in with the play. Third down and 10 now for the Royals from the 41-yard line of York. Big play call here. Again, 3 wide receivers to the bottom of your screen here. Schultz out of the shotgun, low snap. step up and he will get hit.
My.
Harry Knopf, Steve, applied the initial pressure, but Tyler Bruzewitz put a bruising on Eric Schultz that time.
That will leave a mark. Indeed.
Yes.
Let's take another look at it again. Knopf from the shock on the low snap. He forces him that way, and boom, right into 31. Bruzewitz with a huge defensive play. And you can see the speed, the closing speed that time, and we've seen it here tonight between Ostin, Bruzewitz, and some of the other defenders for these Dukes.
Well, Schultz is back to punt, but you never know. He's a starting quarterback. He indeed will punt it away. Belleville is back, and it will go out of bounds, and they'll mark it at the 25-yard line. So the Dukes from their own 25 with 8 minutes and 59 seconds to go, a 25-yard punt by Eric Schultz. And football fans, the AT&T Broadband Network will take you through the semifinal round with our Game of the Week playoff coverage. Then on Thanksgiving weekend, you can watch the IHSA State Finals, classes 1A through 8A, live on WICC TV 20 Chicago. That's Friday, November 29th, Saturday, November 30th. 12 hours of continuous championship action beginning at 10 o'clock each morning. Check your local listings to find the WICC channel location on your AT&T broadband channel lineup. Dukes will keep it on the ground. McHugh, the ball carrier, across the 30 to the 31. Dukes, of course, would just like to take their time, get some first downs, run some clock. 8:33 to go.
Indeed, they're going to keep the ball on the ground here, to say the least. Continue to let McHugh handle the football and grind things out here, try and run as much time off the clock as possible.
And again, it's McHugh, the ball carrier, the sure-handed one, with a couple to about the 33-yard line, a pickup of 2. Paul Ryan was there defensively for the Royals, the linebacker, senior linebacker. 3rd down and 2 as we come up on the 8-minute mark.
Oh, Mark, hey, there we are.
There he is. Mark Kruger, Steve Moga, Jeff Myers roaming the sidelines somewhere tonight.
Really, Mark is not that much taller than I am, really. I am sitting down. You are taller than me, but not that much.
3rd down and 2 up the middle. Andy Shields, oh my gosh, he is going to go untouched. 77 yards. Andy Shields on the quarterback keeper. Straight up the middle, virtually untouched. 67 yards, actually.
Oh, my. He saw something. He like, look at that immediately. And there it was, right at the line of scrimmage. He just eluded Jim Cawthron, and boy, it's just a foot race. He caught everybody by surprise. They bunched everybody up front, looking for McHugh in that situation. Wow, what a huge play.
Shields' 12th touchdown of the season, his 2nd running the ball. And now an unsportsmanlike penalty against the York Dukes here. So it's 23-6 in favor of the Dukes after the 67-yard touchdown run by Andy Shields.
Well, that just turns us into a 35-yard extra point attempt, which we've already seen Josh Patterson kick a 34-yard field goal with plenty of room to spare.
You know, there's a happy Andy Shields right there. We mentioned his 4.6 grade point average, and well, he certainly has it upstairs. Saw the defense and just took it straight up the middle.
Smart kid recognized an opening there, and once he got through the line of scrimmage, forget about it.
Josh Patterson now, he certainly has plenty of distance, so extra point, oh, no good.
Wow.
He pulled it to the left. So the extra point, no good by Patterson. Score remains 23-6 in favor of the York Dukes here. 7:35 to go here in this ball game.
Well, we mentioned the only time these schools met each other in '95 in the first round in 6A playoffs. York won here 28-7, and starting to shape up like that again.
Let's go down to Jeff Myers. Jeff.
Guys, we got the athletic director for York High School. Nice warm night you gave for us, Craig.
Well, we're just glad to be playing this time of year. It is cold, but it's not so cold when you're winning like we are tonight. It feels a little better.
And Craig DeValis, what does this a game mean to the school?
Oh, it's great. You know, the school spirit around the school. All the kids wore green and white today. We had a great pep rally. It's just great for the environment. It's great for school. You know, it's a happy place to be. Everybody loves to be a York Duke today.
And school this year is a brand new building, isn't it?
Well, one of our new buildings is complete. We're in the middle of a 3 or 4 year process where we're going to have a whole new school when it's all said and done. We're really looking forward to getting the new gyms, the new field houses in the near future.
All right, Craig, thanks.
Thank you.
Good luck to you. Back to you guys.
Jeff Myers and Craig DeValis, thank you very much. Craig, the athletic director here at York. And barring a major miracle here, it looks like the York Dukes will move on to the second round of the playoffs.
Andy Shields still getting high fives from his teammates. Over 3 plays, a minute 14, the 75 yards covered there by the Dukes.
Still plenty of time, though. 7:35 to go. And this is taken by Rux, the up man, and he gets across the 30 to the 37-yard line.
Well, you say plenty of time, my friend, but still 7.5
some
minutes to go.
Need some quick scores is what you need, but
And
they've got the arsenal to do it, however, Steve, and the wide receivers, but they're going to have to do something pretty quick here.
well, that they do. They do have the quick strike capability with this team and this offense, but it starts to look like a monumental task when you look up at the scoreboard and say, oh, man, we've got to score 3 times.
23-6 in favor of York. 7:29 remaining. Eric Schultz, 1st and 10. His own 38-yard line. Schultz, some pressure from behind, and this ball is going to be picked off by number 58, Danny Larson. The senior nose guard with the interception.
Well, the big hit. And again, you know they have to pass the football, so they come with the pressure immediately, and that's really how they've taken the Royals out of their rhythm offensively all night by sending a couple bodies at the quarterback. There it is, the hit as he's releasing it. Nose of the football diving right into the belly of Larson.
First and 10 now, Dukes from the 29-yard line of the Royals. So Andy Shields and company looking for second round playoff football action. The give is to McHugh, up the middle for a couple, down to the 27-yard line. See some of the crowd on hand here tonight.
Well, it got a little warmer on this side of the field for the York fans where we're located, and a little colder for the Royal fans on the far side after that last play. A big defensive play for the Dukes.
York with 2 3-game winning streaks during the regular season. They won their first 3 ball games, and then, of course, our game we did week 4, losing to Hinsdale Central. And then they won weeks 5, 6, and 7, Willowbrook, Oak Park, River Forest, and then Proviso West, before dropping their 2 final regular season games to Downers Grove North and Lyons Township.
Yeah, 2 playoff teams.
McHugh, the ball carrier there, Steve, a gain of 1. Steve, during their 6th victory against Proviso West, Coach Greider, towards the end of the game, got that water cooler ambush, and it'll be interesting to see with a very cold night tonight as this game winds down whether or not he will get the water treatment here at the end of this game.
Well, he just might get it, but I tell you what, York came into this game, although both teams with identical 6-3 records. I think they expected to win this game at home. They felt that, again, you mentioned those victories and some of the quality opponents they have beaten. They thought that they could match up with the Royals quite nicely, and they've shown it here so far tonight.
3rd down and 11. Shields with a pump fake, going for the end zone. Belleville, oh, he came down with it. Did he stay in bounds? Flag thrown. Yeah, Davis was there in the coverage. But what a tremendous catch, nevertheless, by Brian Belleville.
Well, when you catch the ball 52 times in the regular season, make 52 receptions, you've got some good hands. And Belleville obviously showing them right there.
I don't know what the call will be, but Davis may have pushed Belleville out of bounds. You see the officials talking things over. This one may be against the Dukes.
Yeah, well, it may have been a push-off as well against Belleville. They were both kind of going for the football. Although the question was, you know, was he out of bounds anyway there? They were going to give him the catch, I believe.
I'll tell you, Coach, we got off.
Offensive pass interference is the call.
Heard the call there by referee Mike Ryer. Offensive pass interference.
Interference against the green. It's going to be lost down, which will make it 4th down.
So it'll be 4th down now for York.
Not a good call at all.
Well, interesting. Take another look at it here. We'll see if we can see it at the tail end of this. Might be hard from this camera angle. There's the pump fake. See if you see the lower right.
Yeah.
Well,
not much there.
There must have been contact right before that, because there certainly wasn't toward the tail end of it. Well, the breaks that the Dukes have gotten tonight, that one goes against them.
Brad Lee is back for the Royals, and he will let this punt roll, and it will stop inside the 20 to the 17-yard line, and that's where the Royals will take over here. Some extracurricular activities at the 46-yard line, but no flags. Eric Reebok of the Royals, number 83, was there along with the punter. Josh Patterson kind of getting tangled up there, but no call.
Why are they talking to our guy?
See one of the young fans here tonight.
She doesn't look too happy for some reason.
Well, probably a little cold, Mark.
Yeah, I would think.
Wanting at this point just to get this thing over with. Boy, a lot.
And now you see the officials talking with Coach Greider on that offensive interference call. I'm sure is what they're talking about.
Well, I'm sure the Royal staff, Mark, would trade that punt that actually didn't touch the Royals' return man, where the Dukes got the football, for that interference call any day of the week. Tough situation. All right, well, he's supposed to be satisfied with that explanation finally. You know, my thought initially was that Belleville had gone out of bounds and come back in to catch the football. I thought that's what the flag was going to be for, but you know.
But nevertheless, give
proving
Belleville,
I don't know anything as usual.
Hey, give him some credit for at least coming down with that catch. What a tremendous catch.
Indeed, another tremendous grab. And, you know, like I said, anytime you catch the ball 52 times in 9 games, you've got some pretty good hands.
Eric Schultz, quick hit to the far side. Eric Stevens out in the flat across the 25 to the 26-yard line, an 8-yard pickup. So 2nd down and 2 yards to go here as we come up on the 5-minute mark.
See it again, throws it out to the flat. Got Lee trying to get out there to make the block, but Lee is not there quick enough, and therefore Nathan Clancy makes the tackle. The linebacker got to the spot, beat him to the spot, got to the receiver.
2nd down and 2. Same play here to the near side this time. Stevens breaks the tackle, dives for the 1st down to the 33-yard line. They'll move the chains here as we are under 5 minutes to go here in this 4th quarter. And now another flag coming, Steve, at the end of the play.
Well, some more extracurricular little contact at the tail end of that there. With,
did you see where
it looked like Luke Engen?
Not sure.
Again, the frustrations on, you know, some of the players here. It's just been a tough night. Some calls not going the way either side thought they should. Some of that spilling over.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against the Dukes. So this will give a 1st down for the Royals at their own.
It'll be a 1st down.
Yeah, 1st down from their own 48, Steve.
And Mark, if I get a chance here, I'll share with you a very sportsmanlike, not unsportsmanlike situation that happened in a high school football game in Ohio here that I wanted to share with our viewers. Just a feel-good story, my friend.
You like those feel-good stories.
Absolutely.
3 wide receivers for the Royals out of the shotgun, a draw. Schultz cross midfield across the 45 of the Dukes to the 44-yard line. Hurry up offense now for the Royals. 4:46 to go.
A very sportsmanlike situation in Waverly, Ohio, down in southern Ohio. The Northwest High School football coach Dave Franz got together with Waverly's coach Derek DeWitt. The Northwest team had a player by the name of Jake Porter on their team, who's been with them all season long.
2nd down and 2. Stevens to the far side, and he gets some good yardage to the 33-yard line, where he is brought down by Nathan Clancy.
But the young man, Jake Porter, Mark, dressed for every game, came on the practices, but actually legally, mentally handicapped. A young man who loves football, wanted to be involved with the team, and they allowed him to suit up all season long. And he talked with the coach beforehand. He said, hey, if the game's out of hand at the end, I want to put him in and let him touch the football at least once.
1st and 10, Royals from the 34-yard line. Again, they draw, quarterback draw out of the gun. And Schultz inside the 20 to the 18-yard line, another first down.
So with 5 seconds left, with Waverly leading 42 to nothing in that game, we see the replay there, quarterback keeper. They allowed Porter to enter the game, called his play, and Coach DeWitt offered one better to Francis. Said, "To tell you what, our guys will not even tackle him. We'll let him go the whole way." And the young man ran 49 yards for the touchdown, and just a tear-jerking moment there, but a fantastic way to end a game.
First and 10, same play. The quarterback draw out of the gun up the middle, where he is brought down by Harry Knopfs after a pickup of about 6 down to the 13-yard line. Second down, actually 5-yard pickup. Second down and 5, and the Royals call a timeout here with 3:38 remaining.
Yeah, the Waverly players, Mark, didn't mind giving up the shutout to allow a young man to fulfill one of his dreams, and just a great moment there in Southern Ohio.
And just a reminder that you can catch Hometown Edition with Lynn Photius Friday nights at 8 p.m. right here on the AT&T Broadband Network. Hometown Edition focuses on interesting community events and people making a difference in hometowns all across Chicagoland. That's Hometown Edition with Lynn Photius Friday nights at 8 p.m. right here on the AT&T Broadband Network. Mark Kruger, Steve Moga, Jeff Myers coming to you from Clarence D. East Field in Elmhurst on the campus of York High School. Opening round of the Class 8A playoffs.
Well, Mark, are we actually technically on the campus? We're across the street. We're across St. Charles Road from the campus, actually.
We're close enough.
We're just a long pass away.
2nd and 5 forthcoming here for the Royals from the 14-yard line of the Dukes.
At least a Josh Patterson punt or a field goal attempt away from the high school.
23 to 6 in favor of the York Dukes. Play action. Schultz to the end zone and incomplete. Eric Stevens trapped it. And so it'll bring up 3rd down and 5 from the 14.
Great camera work there by our guys. Take another look at it here. The play action rolls out to his right. You're going to see it right in your living room. That ball just a bit short. Short hops it.
3:32 to go here. So it looks like we're going to have a second round matchup between the York Dukes and the Wheaton North Falcons. Eric Schultz again out of the shotgun. Davis now to slot here the near side. Now Davis comes in motion. Schultz again will keep it himself, and he'll get hit from behind by Bruzewitz to about the 9-yard, close to a first down here.
Yeah, Mark, indeed, these Dukes are going to get a first-hand look at Mr. All-Everything, Zach Ulrich.
Both of these two teams had 3-game winning streaks. The Royals, they won their first 3 ball games. Middle 3, week 4, 5, and 6. They lost to Bartlett, Streamwood, Lake Park. And then, as we mentioned, the 3-game winning streak coming into tonight's game with wins over Waubonsie Valley, St. Charles East, and Rockford East. 4th and less than a yard to go. It is Eric Schultz up the middle again, and he should have the first down. It'll be 1st and goal here for the Royals. Down to about the 5.
Yeah, out of those last 3 you mentioned there, Waubonsie Valley, it was a hard-fought 22-19 victory over a young Warriors team, and then St. Charles East, with all the injuries and other things that happened there, they had a struggle this season, go 4-5, and another hard-fought 14-7 victory. So they've been in some of these close games before and come out on top, but tonight it did not bounce their way.
The Larkin Royals calling a timeout, and this will give us an opportunity to let you know that tonight's game, produced and directed by Andy Zielkowski, our technical director, Anthony Bordignon, our programming manager, Dan Capasso, our programming director, Rebecca Cianci, audio operator Joanne Friedoff, our tape replay operator Greg Harshberger, Maggie Sendra on graphics, our camera operators Ken Cheetah Masters, Bill Funchess, Dale Van Duser, Joe Pine. Tonight's game engineered by Rich Forsman, our statistician Nick Penno, along with Jeff Myers, Steve Moga. I'm Mark Kruger. Hope you're enjoying our first round playoff coverage between the York Dukes and the Larkin Royals. See the campus there across the street.
And you can see the construction trailers as well.
1st and goal, Royals from the 5. Schultz, and Schultz will get sacked by Jason Anderson. Well, they're saying an incomplete pass. Okay, his arm was moving forward. So an incomplete pass, Steve. It'll be second and goal.
Saw those construction trailers a moment ago. We'll take another look at this play. We'll see whether or not that arm's coming forward. Again, knowing that he's going to go to the air, they come after a little red dog action. Craig Davalis, though, York Athletic Director, mentioned that before in his interview with Jeff Myers about the construction going on. And we want to thank Larkin's Athletic Director as well, David Hicks and his staff, for their assistance here in getting information to us, getting us prepared for this game here tonight.
Absolutely. Second and goal, Royals from the 5-yard line. Schultz looking to the air, and he's got his man, Brad Lee. 5-yard reception from Schultz to Brad Lee, and the Royals with their second touchdown of the night. 23-12 now with 2:42 to go.
You can see a dejected Brad Lee there, somewhat an anticlimactic touchdown reception. They needed a little bit more of that here tonight.
So we'll see if the Royals, looks like they will go for the 2-point conversion here as they're trailing by 11 now.
Yeah, they absolutely have to attempt to go for that. And sooner or later, you've got to do it to try and get the lead, if at all it will be possible.
Lee and Wilharm split backfield. Play action, Schultz, and wide open. Catch again is Wilharm. Did he trap it?
Yep.
Wow, Dave Wilharm was wide open in the right corner, but a little bit underthrown. The score remains 23-12 in favor of the Dukes.
Well, it doesn't get any easier than that either when the guy is wide open like that. How many times do you see that? You missed the wide open layup right when nobody's on you. I mean, situation right there. Lost his footing. Quarterback just underthrew it because he's like right there. I don't want to overthrow him and let up a little too much. 9 plays, 62 yards covered there by the Royals in 3 minutes and 5 seconds as we see the touchdown play again. Lee comes out of the backfield there, and by the time the corner comes up, it's too late. Take a look at it from the ground side of things, the other side of the football field. Well, Mark.
2 minutes and 42 seconds to play here. The final 2:42 of the season for the Larkin Royals. The York Dukes will move on.
Well, you mentioned our crew earlier there. They actually let Greg Harshbarger stay in the truck. He's in there staying warm. Wow, Joe Pine to get on camera. That's a good deal. Joe's been in the truck most of the season.
Hey, we got to give a lot of credit to our camera operators. Cheetah Masters, Bill Funches, Dale Van Duser, Joe Pine. The tough elements out here tonight. Onside a kick attempt by Rux.
I think he's got it.
Bodies flying at the 48-yard line. No indication yet from the officials.
Onside kick.
Steve Rux with a beautiful job of the onside kick. Officials down on the knee trying to get the players up. Steve Rux looked like he came up with it. The kicker, Steve Rux, comes up with the onside kick. Andy, I don't know if we can take another look at it there, but a nice individual effort there by Rux.
Yeah, great job by Rux. You'll see it again. It's just a little ground ball, and he gets a great line on it, full speed ahead. He doesn't concede anything, and he dives right on it, right past the 10-yard midfield stride.
Great camera.
Wow.
Great camera angle too, guys. Excellent job. So the Royals now, Duke's 48-yard line, 2:42 to go.
Too many guys in the huddle. Too many in the huddle. Too many in the huddle.
There are a lot of jerseys on the field right now.
4 wide receivers. Stevens here to the flat, who gets hit, breaks a tackle by Tarsitano, and Tarsitano is still on the ground at the 48. And Stevens is limping as well, the right leg. And Tarsitano is now crawling, trying to get to the Duke sideline.
Officials will call timeout while the trainers check him. You can hear possibly hear the York coaches that are sitting right next to us here in the press box.
1, 2, 3, 4,
claiming
5,
that there were
6,
too many
7,
players.
8,
Well, there were 12
11.
players that broke the huddle mark,
Yeah.
and then the 12th one ran off the field. That's what they're yelling about. There you see the contact. Just probably a little stinger right there as he.
Jason Anderson actually made the tackle, but the first initial hit was by Rick Tarsitano. And Rick is down there. You see them, the staff talking to him, and he's responding.
Yeah. He's talking to him. You see a good look at him there. Young man, in a little pain right now. A cold night like tonight, those are always painful, but maybe even a little more so.
Rick, a 6'1", 185-pound junior, now walking off under his own power to the Duke sidelines. 2:27 remaining here. Second down and 6 from the 44-yard line of York. Royals, Steve, there you take a look at some of the hardy Duke fans enjoying the game thus far. The Royals with another opportunity, trying another quick hit and probably another onside kick attempt here. Schultz out of the shotgun. Under some pressure, and now he's got Eric Stevens, who drops it. Nathan Clancy was behind him, but he had a step on Clancy and just dropped it.
Well, not only that, Mark, he had first down yardage and then some. He would have been inside the 30-yard line. We'll take another look at it here in the deep drop. And from the shotgun, here comes the pressure on either side. He's got his man right there. He was starting to turn already before he hauled the football in. Simple as that.
Well, we can see how quickly these Royals can get open and gain yardage. And the pass is behind Jawan Davis that time. Clock stops with 1:59 seconds to go, and this will bring up 4th down for the Royals. 4th and 6 from the 44-yard line.
It's a shame that they were unable to get that extra point here. The 2-point conversion, I should say, a few moments ago, because then things could get real interesting if they were to score here again and be in situation for another 2-point conversion to get within a point, or at least even to be within the field goal.
You know,